Okay, guys, here we go. I don't know why my mic was turned down. Good morning. It is Wednesday. We have a ceasefire announced. The 2-week ceasefire has been here. Oil has crashed down to the 90s. It hit $90 yesterday. Really, the lows that it got down to were $91.05 if you look at WTI crude here. Brent crude is right around the same, in the 90s right now. We did have a ceasefire announced yesterday. Markets are flying. If you take a look at the NASDAQ is all the way up to over 25,000. Just to understand this, though, this is over where we were March 1st, or at least right around where we were. I think we're actually a little bit over where we were on March 1st. So let's take a deeper look here. Here's a daily chart. March 1st was here. March 2nd was right here. And yeah, we're basically over where we were February 27th, actually. We're at 188s. The highest we got on February 27th before the conflict started was 25,100s on NASDAQ here. We are now over that. We're at 25,187s right now. We hit 25,245. So the range is pretty big on the day, to be honest. We honestly have a pretty big range on the day. We are just moving here. We're moving. But the question is, does this hold? You know, like, we're still getting news that Iran is needing permission, you know, for ships to pass through the strait. We've heard more rumors and rumblings of some strikes and stuff like that going on. So the question is, really, and I'm not saying this is true, but the question is this all one big trap? You know, is this all one big trap? I think if that is true about Iran, about vessels still needing Iran's permission, I mean, I think what it means is that we're still going to see premium oil prices for an extended period of time, you know. But regardless, Nvidia's up a lot. Nvidia's up to 184s. Meta up to 603s. Google's at 315. Apple 50s, Amazon. So things are looking pretty good with stocks. Stocks are definitely reacting in a risk-on way. But oil, guys, it's obviously down to under $95 a barrel. Mike is a little distant. I'm trying to fix it. It should be good.
I would like to be optimistic. I mean, I will choose to err on the side of optimism, but while a tentative ceasefire is nice, I don't think it'll last this time. I mean, I think it's a good step. Yeah, I don't see it lasting. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, both sides are claiming victory here. So both sides are like, yeah, we won. Like, it's over. We won. I think markets are probably responding in a way in which they think we're going to get a broader, deeper deal done in this 2-week period of time. So it's only a 2-week ceasefire. But markets are responding in a way in which they think we're going to get a deeper deal done in this 2-week period. And I think in terms of, you know, I don't know. I hope we get a deal done. The question is about enrichment, I think. You know, Iran has come out claiming that part of this deal essentially allows them to enrich. Others from the U.S.'s side are claiming that that's not even mentioned in the ceasefire. And so basically the other side's saying, nah, bro, that's not true. And so if enrichment is still the big question mark with all this stuff, which is what the big disagreement has been from the start here, even prior to this conflict, when Iran and the U.S. were meeting prior to this conflict starting, kind of the impetus to this conflict was a U.S. and Iran meeting. And the big disagreement we had was Iran was like, yo, we're gonna enrich, and the US was like, nah, bro, I can't let that happen. And Iran was like, hey, you can babysit us, but we're gonna do it no matter what. And the US was like, nope. And then this conflict started. And so the big question is, what does that look like now with the ceasefire? We also have Israel on the other end coming out. I'm not saying they're escalating things, but they're coming out basically saying Lebanon's not included in the ceasefire is one of the things they said. And I don't know if Israel even really wants this ceasefire to begin with, to be honest, based off of some of their quotes. But the president, again, coming out claiming victory. If you look at some of his tweets, Lindsey Graham said, quote, "I just had a great conversation with POTUS. I totally support his ultimatum to the Iranian regime to open up the Strait of Hormuz and do a peace deal." This was 22 minutes ago that, they shared this. But yeah, yesterday, late at night, the president said, quote, "A big day for world peace. Iran wants it to happen. They've had enough. Likewise, so is everyone else. The U.S. will be helping with the traffic buildup in the Strait of Hormuz. There'll be lots of positive action. Big money will be made. Iran can start the reconstruction process. We'll be loading up with supplies of all kinds and just hanging around in order to make sure that everything goes well. I feel confident that it will, just like we are experiencing in the U.S. This could be the golden age of the Middle East," end quote, U.S. president. So he's tweeting positive things, optimistic things.
Yeah, I mean, and I hope that he's right, and I hope everything goes the way that they want it to go. I just think as long as you have the enrichment part in the deal, that neither side can or will back down on that issue, and so I don't think the ceasefire is going to be permanent.
Yeah, I mean that's
for that reason.
Yeah, no, it's definitely possible. At the very least, we have, I think we'll have a couple, optimistic days, and I think that's what the market's showing, is that we're gonna have a couple optimistic days. But again, the deeper question is, what is the long-term effects of oil here? Is the Strait of Hormuz back open like it was prior to this conflict, or is it going to be more limited than it was prior to this conflict because Iran needs permission, or because vessels need Iran's permission to pass through the strait? That's the question, and that's what I hear.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be tolerable either in the long term. I mean, maybe we might go along with it, or they might go along with it.
So the president just tweeted. All right, and he actually tweeted a little bit about what we're saying here. Some of the things they said, quote, "White House spokesperson said there are discussions about in-person talks, but nothing is final until announced by the president or the White House." But then the president tweeted, he said, quote, "The United States will work closely with Iran, which we have determined has gone through what will be a very productive regime change. There will be no enrichment of uranium, and the U.S. will, working with Iran, dig up and remove all of the deeply buried nuclear dust that is now and has been under very exacting satellite surveillance, in parentheses, Space Force, exclamation point, and nothing has been touched from the date of attack. We are and will be talking tariff and sanction relief with Iran. Many of the 15 points we've already been agreed to. Thank you for your attention to this matter, U.S. President." So, tweeting about nuclear dust there. And then he did follow up with that saying, quote, "There will be no enrichment of uranium." So if that's true, then maybe we do have a deal going on right now. Again, oil
just
falling down.
Depends on how the other side responds about that.
No, right, 100%. I'm worried that from the other side, we're gonna get.
They're gonna call BS.
The other side's gonna. I'm worried the other side's gonna say, "We are gonna enrich." What are you talking about?
Me too.
And then that is gonna escalate the whole thing back. And then we're gonna go deeper into this period again. At the very least, we have a couple weeks of, and that's just what I'm worried about. I'm not even saying that's gonna happen. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But that's what I'm worried about happening. So let's do a poll here. Is my mic volume still off? Dude, my mic volume has been acting crazy. Hold on one second.
Yeah. Also, good morning to you too, Farmer.
Test. Yeah, what I really think it is with this mic is I think I might have the
maybe he needs to update the software. I don't know.
Well, I think it's one of the filters I actually have on this mic. I have check it out. I have a noise suppression.
Talking, can't hear you at all.
Oh, well, they can hear me on stream, right? Y'all can hear me on stream. I see you guys can. Test, test. You can't hear me now, Britt? Nope. All right, we're gonna have to hang up from Britt here. Hey.
Hey, now I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right, cool. Yeah.
Now you're messed up. Keep
Am
talking.
I messed up?
Okay, good now.
Okay, cool. We're here.
All right.
It's just a tad lower than Brit. Yeah, good. Okay. I'm just a small trader with less than 2,000, a 9 to 5, and big dreams. I can see you, John. Can you see me, dude? What? Y'all can see me right now? Yeah.
I can hear you and see you. It's amazing.
Oh man, look at oil fall on the president's tweet. Again, I think this is going to make people more optimistic regarding the conflict ceasefire lasting longer. You know, again, Trump said there will be no enrichment. Oil's falling down. We're at 93.40s. Yeah. So markets are falling down here.
Makes me feel hopeful.
Yeah. No, I think so as well. All right, guys. So yeah, oil is now falling down on this report. I'm sure the NASDAQ might be ripping higher here as well. Yeah, NASDAQ is moving towards the highs of the day here. We're at 24,228 right now, 24,229 here. And these are pretty freaking high levels. The all-time high on the NASDAQ is only about only about $1,000 above where we're at now. The all-time high on the NASDAQ is about 26,399, if I remember correctly. So let's see what happens here. But
any idea when it hit that all-time high? It was pretty recently, wasn't it?
This was months ago. Sorry, this was months ago that it hit that level. So it hit that level months ago.
Yeah, well, when I say recently, I mean relatively speaking.
Yeah. Sorry, it was October.
Yeah.
Late October, early November is when it hit that level.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna lower this close threshold to 55. That way it picks up some of my voice that cuts out. And the open threshold, I'm gonna lower it to 85. That way you guys pick up some of the voice. Hold time, I'm gonna go to 300 here. I'm fixing my mic for you guys. Yeah, this way it should be a little bit better. Okay. Let me know if my mic sounds a little bit smoother now. Sorry, Britt, what's up?
I was gonna say, so market's up, oil's down. What's gold doing?
Gold is probably bullish, I would assume, on this news. Yeah, I mean, gold is up to 4,800 plus. It's up. It closed at 47.30s. You can see the initial reaction in gold here, but yeah, gold is pretty green. Here's Tuesday evening when the ceasefire was announced. Flew up to almost 4,900s. Still under, still under 5,000. But yeah, the dollar index is going to be weak on this, I think, right? Yeah, dollar index is down to under 98s or under 99s. So the dollar index is breaking down on this report. Is this only a 2-week treaty? Yes, it is. But I think the reaction we're seeing in markets, as I've said, is a reaction in which like markets are pricing in that we might potentially get a deeper deal done in that 2-week period is what this looks like. And if what the president said is true today about there be no enrichment and Iran agrees with that, which is a big if, you know, that's a pretty optimistic thing. That changes the previous tone I had with regarding it. So I'm seeing another tweet here. He said a country supplying military weapons to Iran will be immediately terrified. And it's not the original spelling of terrified. It's tariff. Oh, sorry. Immediately tariffed. He should use terrified, though. On any and all goods sold to the U.S., 50% effective immediately. So he's throwing tariff threats out here now. He says maybe joint U.S.-Iran venture for Hormuz tolls, according to ABC. many of the 15 points have already been agreed to. There'll be no enrichment of uranium, and they have undergone a very productive regime change. But that any country supplying military weapons to them will be immediately tariffed on any and all goods sold to the U.S. 50% tariffs effective immediately, is what he said.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, other than the obvious two, I don't know who else would be selling weapons to Iran.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But whoever it is, they get tariffs, Britt. You know?
No, they get terrified.
Yeah. I'm not saying I agree with this. I'm just playing off of it. I hope we don't go back to tariff fears like we did. Like prior to this conflict, I would say like late last year, we were getting into it with China. And I think that's going to start back up if this conflict eases, because one of the things stopping that dialogue is this conflict. I hope we don't go back into tariff fears and trade war. You know, I hope that doesn't start to be what moves markets here. You know, it's possible.
Yeah.
Everyone should make money today. Or sorry, Brett.
People are saying China and it's okay. People are saying China and Russia. Well, like that's what I meant when I said the obvious too, I guess. But like, I just don't think anybody else would like has a chance of offending in that particular issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see somebody say everybody should make money today, even you. Bro, listen, I've been making money every day. I'm not saying every day like never losing money. But
pretty
dude,
consistently though.
Honestly, I really have. Like, I could actually take a withdrawal in this. Like, look, I could take a payout now. I think I might actually take a payout. You know what? I'm taking it. I'm requesting it. I'm taking it. Oh, I got to add my bank account to it. But still, the point is,
at some point, you're taking that payout.
Oh, I'm taking it. Because honestly, I have been pretty consistent here. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at least from what I've seen. And oh man, lost my train of thought. I at the very least, like you're saying, like, you know, a 2-week layoff, it'll at least let, you know, everybody, you know, like tempers cool down, and hopefully cooler heads will prevail.
That's right. Don't forget about the money you owe me, John, so please take out enough. Thank you.
What the heck?
I mean, you guys owe me money yesterday. You guys remember yesterday? Listen, I'm just gonna put this out there. Let me remind the chat what happened yesterday. All right, because this is
a picture for us, John.
Yeah, this is a big moment here. All right, I'm gonna put this out there. I wanted to buy the Nasdaq, guys. All right, like, let's talk about it. I wanted to buy the Nasdaq, and nobody can look. I have it recorded on the stream. I wanted to buy the Nasdaq. Y'all will never hear the end of this. I wanted to buy the Nasdaq here. Chat. That is where I wanted to buy the Nasdaq yesterday. I asked you guys if I should, and you guys talked me out of it. Y'all talked me out of it. Y'all were like, no, don't do that, bro. No. Like, don't do it. Y'all are screaming at me. Don't do it.
John was a young trader with steel in his eye.
I know.
He was ruined by the chat.
I know. Look, now we're at over $1,000 over where I wanted to buy it. You know, genuinely, I wanted to buy it.
Someone says not Chet, which I guess I meant chat, but chat's cool too. It was my idea. It was my fault apparently, John.
You guys know I wanted to buy it right there. I'm still kind of mad about it, honestly. I would have never held it to where we are now for sure, but still, I'm gonna act like I would have, and I blame you guys. I blame you guys here. It's y'all's fault, personally.
They talked you. They talked you out of the trade of the century. You know.
That's true, man. That's true. I know. Look, I see all the bears show up.
But in reality, to be fair, like, you caved to peer pressure, and that's on you.
Not investment professionals. Don't sue us. I like it, Faye. I like it. Listen, that is true. That is true. Now I've learned. You know, I've learned. Just don't listen to you guys. You know.
Yep.
If you guys go right, I go left. That's my new MO here.
Just one more step on the road to becoming a master. You know.
That's right.
One more lesson.
That's right. That's right. Britt knows. But yeah, here, look, we're at 25,200s. Let's see if we bounce with the 200 exponential. I do think, look, I do think we're a little high here. Now, I think bulls are in control. There's optimism, but I'm worried we're going to correct back down. And that's a great option for our poll today. Is this a bull trap? Is this a bull trap? We're going to keep it really simple. Is this a bull trap? Yes or no? We have, somebody's asking, do we have any news today? We have the FOMC minutes report. FOMC minutes. It's at 1 p.m. So we have that going on today. John believed in peace. Chad did not. We're not financial advisors. Just people in pajamas with coffee.
I was going to read that one. I like that one.
We need a reverse Chet. We got Brick. We got Chet. As long as it's not like, as long as y'all aren't like Chet Hanks, you know, I'll allow it.
The heck did
CPI is
Chet
coming
Hanks
on
do?
Friday. Chet Hanks. Yeah, he's just ridiculous. His dad's freaking Tom Hanks. All right.
Well, I mean, I figured, but who's the only one I know is Colin Hanks. Like, he's a pretty well-known actor and I think director at this point.
Well, no, Tom Hanks has another son. His name is Chet, but he acts like he's from the slums, and it's like, bro, your dad is Tom Hanks, dude. You know,
Oh, him.
Sit down. Yeah.
Yeah, the one, his guy who's all tatted up and stuff.
Yeah. As long as y'all don't act like him, we're good. Yeah, CPI is coming on Friday. So Friday, and here's the thing. This will be a really interesting CPI report because it includes March. It's March CPI. So it's basically the conflict, how much the conflict is affecting CPI is what this report's going to show on Friday. How much has this conflict affected CPI? And yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's going to be really important to watch. Even if we get a deeper deal done before then, which is iffy. A lot of people are going to be really curious to see what that CPI print shows. Markets are pricing in, and if we look at the expected numbers here for Friday, markets are pricing in 3.3% headline inflation. Previously, it was 2.4%. So it's almost a full percentage point higher than expected. The month over month 0.9% versus 0.3% previously. And so most of these are expected to go up substantially in terms of headline. Headline includes energy prices, right? So that's why they're going up so much. Core is still increasing some, specifically 0.1% is what it's expected to increase to 0.3% from 0.2% last time, and year over year at 2.7 versus 2.5%. So even core CPI, which excludes food and energy prices, are expected to go up. And so regardless of whether we're talking about energy or everything else, and I think, there's reasons for that. I mean, I think even if we don't include specific energy price increases, they still trickle into other things, at least somewhat, at least indirectly, if that makes sense. We also have Michigan consumer sentiment and factory orders dropping at the same time. And this is after tomorrow, we have Q4 GDP, the second final revision that we get for GDP data. Last time it showed up at 0.7%. It was expected at 1.4. It showed up at 0.7. So the GDP decline that we've been seeing over the past couple months has not been necessarily good here for GDP data. And then we also have PCE inflation data for February as well. So tomorrow we got PCE inflation. We have GDP data going live at 8:30. Friday we have CPI. And then again this afternoon we have the Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. So we got some economic data coming out. Another thing to look at is yields today, guys. Yields. I'm assuming yields are down pretty significantly from this. I glanced at them yesterday. I did glance at yields yesterday. And yeah, they're down pretty significantly from this. You can see when the conflict started way back here. Let's take a look deeper. Here's a monthly chart on yields. So conflict started way back here. Yields are still up a lot though. Yields were under 4% when this conflict started. They've fallen back down to about 4.24%. So we're not seeing like a big correction down here in yields yet, at least in 10-year treasuries. If we look at 2-year, again, they're falling down some for sure. Here's 2-year treasuries. But they're still not where they were prior to this conflict for treasury yields. And the big thing is like our market's going to start pricing in more rate cuts now that the inflationary aspects of the conflict are starting to ease a little bit. Still in June, there's a 10% chance we cut rates. In July, there's a 17% chance we cut rates by July. There is about a 28% chance we cut rates by September. In October, there's about a 32 or 33% chance we cut rates by October, and then December, there's about a 45% chance we cut rates by December. Still a 53% chance that we do not. And so these numbers have gone down a little bit in terms of the likelihood that we won't cut rates at all. At this point in time, we still got about a 45% chance we do cut rates this year after the ceasefire. So it did influence the odds of rate cuts. Still a 53% chance that we have no rate cuts this year, though. So at this point in time, after the ceasefire, there's still a 53% chance, majority chance, that we do not cut rates this year.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how you think those odds change if the ceasefire does turn out to be permanent.
Oh, if it turns permanent, I mean, yeah, I think, here's the logic of it, guys. So if you guys don't understand this logic, the conflict ending is better for inflation, right? If we have inflation more under control, the Fed has more of a green light to focus on the labor market and cut interest rates. And so that's the logic here. The longer this conflict lasts and the more inflation that we get from it, the less green light the Fed has to focus on the labor market. And we have seen some weakness in the labor market. Again, although the last one did show a shockingly high print at 178,000 payrolls, unemployment was 4.3%. And so we did have, it was mostly good, but we also had some big negative revisions. The last one should have been negative 92. They revised it to negative 133,000 in the last NFP print. And so we had some good and some bad in that print. We'll have to see what the lingering effects of everything are. So we did a poll here today. 54% say yes, this is a bull trap. 46% say no, it's not. So again, 54% say we are in a bull trap right now. 46% say we are not.
Where do you lean?
I think we could be. I think it's somewhere in between. I think we might be up a little bit too much short term, that we correct somewhat at the opening bell in today. But I also think that is definitely not set in stone. I think it's very possible we break highs and continue running, and momentum gains control when we start pushing towards all-time highs and indices. I think that's very possible today. But my base case would be the market coming back down just a little bit, not a lot. I just maybe some pricing in of certain things, like maybe some small retracements back down. But we're still going to be net green, obviously, since the ceasefire was announced. That's my base case. I might be wildly wrong, and you never freaking know with this type of stuff. Of course, anybody that gets it right, they're going to act like they're a genius, and anybody that gets it wrong, they're just going to pretend they never said it. But that's kind of where I'm at. What do you guys think? It looks like most people think this is a bull trap.
I don't know, but I'm going to hold you to all that. Whatever, all of it.
Do
even
it,
though
man.
I probably
Do it.
won't remember it.
Make it short. Say, John was wrong. Look at John,
And then if you're right, we can just, all glory to John,
Yeah. I like that analysis. Yeah, again, nobody freaking knows. There's variance. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, it depends on what kind of news we have coming out. It's such a news-based market. Honestly, I'm kind of ready to stop using Trump in my thumbnails. But he's what's moving markets right now. Like, this conflict and him are what are moving markets. Yeah, whatever the chat says, I'm doing the opposite today, guys.
Everybody give him nothing but good advice.
I see somebody said the ceasefire was broken 20 minutes after it went into effect. While that's technically true, both sides said it would take a little bit of time to let the ceasefire officially really start. It would take a little while to get word to the different parties that needed to hear it and needed to enforce it and all that stuff. So I think
conflicts have always been that way. If historically, there's always been some action after the official end of an engagement, a war, whatever. You've always had a few stragglers in that regard.
Yeah, no, 100%. Advice: wear a suit. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Someone says, "I wish I was Baron Trump." I just wish I was 6'8". I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that kid is freaking tall, bro. Honestly,
Yeah, dude.
like, you know.
I wouldn't be surprised if he grew another inch or so.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be really short up until like, and I'm not tall, but I thought I was gonna be really short up until like 9th grade. You know,
I thought I was gonna be tall. My grandpa was like 6'3". My uncle was like 6'2", and like, yeah, none of the rest of my family was like especially tall, like on my dad's side. But I just knew I was gonna take after my grandpa, and I was wrong.
I know, man. Listen, it's my fault. You know,
It's totally your fault.
Sure.
That's why you're taller than me.
So again, I'm getting more tweets. Not more tweets, but again, I'm going to restate some of these. The president said, quote, "A country supplying military weapons will immediately be tariffed on any and all goods sold to the United States, 50% effective immediately. There'll be no exclusions or exemptions from this," end quote, U.S. president. And so he did threaten a 50% tariff regarding Iranian weapon supply. And so we'll see what happens on that front.
Everything's just been too erratic to be 100% hopeful or confident in this. It just, if nothing else, it'll kind of take the maybe a bit of the anxiety off for a couple days.
Yeah, and I'm seeing some people in chat say a ceasefire breaking at the beginning is actually quite normal, especially since they're not 100% connected with each other intrinsically. 100%. That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, you
and
don't.
so
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. And so I don't think that's like a super bad sign. I think honestly, like I said before, that's pretty standard. It's pretty standard. I am eligible for a payout here, though, guys. I think I'm gonna take it. Market is always forward thinking if you think long term. Yeah, and markets price in things essentially immediately for the most part. Yeah, so Lebanon's foreign minister claims that the nation's sovereignty cannot be divided or discussed. Government is willing to start direct talks with Israel. They affirmed only the government has the authority to represent the country in negotiations.
Like they're willing to talk to Israel is a good sign.
Yeah, but what I'm looking at, I keep hearing people say Iran will have no enrichment of uranium, but I don't actually see that in the president's tweets. The president said, quote, oh no, he did say it. Okay, I see it. Yeah, he did. Okay, so I didn't see it at first. Here's the president's tweet. So this is where he said it. He said, the U.S. will work closely with Iran, determined going through a very productive regime change. There'll be no enrichment of uranium. So he says it right here.
Yeah, I see it.
So that's pretty optimistic, I think, if that's part of the deal. Because again, yesterday we did hear from both sides that a little bit differing in that regard. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm interested to see their response to that particular bit.
Right, for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting. This is a really interesting day here. We'll see if markets continue to move. I think the closer we get to this high right here, though, the more bullish I am. Maybe I should have bought 200 right here. Again, I'm just going to bring this up. I wanted to buy this yesterday. I wanted to buy this yesterday. Here.
I tried, and you guys just wouldn't let him. I saw it.
Right. You can't keep a good trader down, chat. I told you guys yesterday y'all would never hear the end of this.
Well, to be fair, it's only been one day.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people are going to say it was a taco moment. But I don't know if this was taco. Okay. Look, I'm not one to hide from the taco movement. If he tacoed on something, he tacoed. All right. And again, taco abbreviation stands for Trump always chickens out. I think, honestly, this is what he was putting that pressure on them to begin with. And so I think this is different. I don't think this is a taco moment. I think this is he got what he wanted to a certain extent, which was Iran coming to the table and doing a ceasefire. So again, maybe he didn't do a taco moment, and I'm just missing out on the context of it. Chat, explain it to me. I'll listen. But I think this is what he was trying to get the whole time, which was some type of deal done.
Well, like you said, you just got to get them to start talking. If you can get just a temporary ceasefire is fine. You just got to get people to start talking to each other.
Right.
And go from there.
He says he got what he wanted. Yeah, maybe he's full of crap. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really pick sides with all this stuff. It's not like I'm like, yeah, Trump. You know, that's definitely not what I am. But in this regard, he just got what he wanted. I mean, he wanted a ceasefire. He wanted oil to settle. He wanted the NASDAQ and the S&P to go up, and he wanted everybody to be optimistic again and get some. He wanted that political pressure off of him is what he wanted. And the U.S. wanted no enrichment. And so if what he's saying is true, which again is a big if, I think that's getting what he wants to a certain extent.
I just think, judging long-term results is the most important thing to do. I mean,
yeah.
If it works out well for everybody, who cares about the rest of it? Or
right.
As well as can be expected.
I mean, we could ask the chat, the wisdom of the chat. You guys are super wise after telling me not to buy 24,000 yesterday. But the wisdom of the chat here, did he taco? Did he chicken out, basically? Yes or no? Put yes or no in the chat.
I think it's too early to judge, personally. I don't know.
Trust but verify? Yeah, I think that's fair, Rob. Yes, no, yeah, yes, no, yes, no. Most people are saying he did. Yes, he agreed to their terms.
Let's get more no's than I thought.
It's LOSER, Z-Man. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with anything you're saying, but you just said
just
looser.
A spelling correction.
Looser is what you just said. I have to correct anybody I see that. It's LOSER.
They double down bigly looser. Which I've used the word bigly just for fun. It is funny. How bigly of you.
Checkboard, honestly, you're right. He said, who are you kidding, John? You would have only held that for 2 minutes. Y'all are absolutely right. I probably wouldn't even held it that long. We got an immediate bounce there, though. But again, like I said, y'all would never hear the end of this. This will follow you all of your days. This will follow you. All right.
I'm putting a reminder on my phone just to tell you about it again in 6 months.
Yeah, that's right. This is gonna follow you all of your days.
Birria taco for real? Dude, don't bring up birria tacos. I love birria tacos, and you're just making me hungry.
Yeah, they're very good. They're very good. Yeah, the real question, again, I'm going to go back to this. The real question is, and here's another question for the chat. Another yes or no question. Within the next 2 months, does the Strait of Hormuz get back to allowing the amount of ships it did through prior to this conflict? Yes or no? That's really the question here. Does oil open back up? Does the Strait of Hormuz continue flows like normal, like it did previous to this conflict? That's the real question here. That is going to long-term affect markets. Does the Strait get back to normal?
I'm going to put what I want out into the universe and say yes.
I hope it does. But I'm also very skeptical that it does. Now, again, we're hearing rumors that Iran wants tolls now. And then the president even said, hey, maybe we can jump in on those tolls and it can be a U.S.-Iran joint effort. But I don't think that's the move. I think the goal should be to open it up like it was prior. And I think that's the biggest risks. Yeah, that's the biggest inflation risks for the rest of this year. Does oil open back up? Does the flow of oil open? And most people are saying no. I think there's going to be some lingering effects of this for sure. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But look at the NASDAQ, guys. NASDAQ's still very strong in the day. We're kind of in a range right now, so I am watching this kind of short-term range. The range I'm watching here specifically, if we zoom in on the NASDAQ here, I am looking at this specific range here. So this is kind of the short-term range that I'm looking at. We've been in this range since early this morning at 4 a.m. 200 exponentials down here. But I'm looking at this range. I want to see if we break over or under this range. You can look at the S&P 500 futures contract and see that the S&P actually just broke highs as well. They got up to 68.40s. But we have a little bit different of a range here for the S&P, a little bit more bullish on the S&P as well. The Dow specifically here, if we take a look at Dow futures, Dow's looking really good as well. Dow's still under 50, but it's at 48,000, which is better than the 46s it was at prior to this ceasefire news announcement. So
why do you think the S&P is reacting a little bit differently?
Hold on.
Okay.
Something's going on my phone. Oh, I know what my phone just did. My phone just did its factor. Okay. Bro, what's with all these resets on? Ouch, dude. Oh my gosh, man.
Did you hit your elbow?
Yeah. Dude, my elbow's hurt. I had a sling for my arm. I was wearing it around.
Yeah, but only for a day.
Oh, freaking jujitsu, man. I was really... It feels a lot better today, though, which is honestly really good. It hurt a lot. Like, I couldn't move it yesterday. And no, I didn't get arm barred, guys. You know.
Not true. Maddie armbarred him.
Yeah, you know. That's exactly what happened. But no, I had somebody in turtle position, and they did like an arm clamp sweep where they clamp the arm and then they roll over and try to sweep you. And I scrambled out of it, but then afterwards my elbow felt kind of funny, so it's just this weird tweak of my elbow.
To be fair, I remember he's a pretty big guy. Probably put a lot of pressure on it when he rolled.
He honestly is, yeah. He's a big dude. John, this is the most difficult market to trade. Table tennis elbow. You know. Us civilized people, we call it ping pong, okay?
Ping pong elbow.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter was mad. She saw my elbow. She was like, dude, my nemesis can't play right now. But yeah, look, guys. So several European leaders in a joint statement say we welcome the 2-week ceasefire concluded between the U.S. and Iran today. A senior Iranian official did say, quote, reopening would be limited and in coordination with Iranian military still required for all vessels. A senior Iranian official also said Iran could open Hormuz on Thursday or Friday ahead of the meeting with the U.S. and Pakistan if the ceasefire framework is reached. This was 2 minutes ago. So it's optimistic right now, but things could take another turn anytime here. And so I'm watching for that specifically. It is a difficult market to trade. We're up a lot. I don't really trust it this much. And again, it is a news-driven market here. And so what I'm worried about taking positions in this context market is some news coming out that makes my positions move here. And so, yeah, I'm getting old for sure.
Unfold like a taco during jujitsu. That's mean.
Oh no, that's just how it goes. You know?
I know.
Chat will be chat, guys. Chat will be chat for sure. Yeah, it's again, this is what I'm worried about. And 56% of people out of 500 votes think yes, this is a bull trap. So, yeah, I'm hurt, guys. I'm hurt. That's what I'm saying. I feel better today, though. I was honestly for a while yesterday. I was like, oh no, like I did something really wrong. Today it feels fine. It doesn't feel fine. Let me clarify.
I genuinely think you would benefit from strength and conditioning on your off days, like when you're not rolling, and nothing like really extreme. I just think it would kind of help to fortify your joints a little more and strengthen your connective tissues.
Yeah, I mean, I work out, you know, but not. It's hard to do both consistently.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, I can't really talk. I can't follow my own advice. I just, think it's decent advice.
Yeah. So do what Britt says, not what he does. That's what you're saying here.
Exactly.
Right. Oil still breaking down, guys. We're at 93 right now. 93.
Kind of like my dad always told me, listen to what I mean, not what I say.
That's right. You know, as a parent, sometimes I gotta tell my kids that. Chad saying bull trap means this isn't a bull trap. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Again, I think the risks are anything could happen that makes this thing spiral out of control again. I don't know if it's the base case right now. It's looking pretty good. It's looking like we're going to get a deal done. And I think markets, again, because of how much markets have gone up, markets are pricing in that we get a deeper deal done in this 2 weeks. I think that's what the market shows us today, is that we potentially might get a deeper deal done in this 2 week time frame. So we'll see.
What's Nvidia doing?
Nvidia's up a lot today. Nvidia back up to like 185s. 184s. And so, I mean, it's still in the range it's been, but Nvidia's starting to climb back here. You know, it obviously reacted really well to this. Was at about 175 prior to that truce, or the ceasefire being announced. Nvidia up to almost 185s now.
Oh man, it's a good climb.
Yeah. So there's other stuff that might keep oil elevated. Like one of the things I was looking up this morning is there's a big difference between Hormuz fully reopening, same pre-war conditions, free transit for any flag, no permission required, normal insurance rates, and what we might see now, which is Hormuz operates under a permission monitoring protocol, where they have the say, they have the keys, vessels need approval, certain flags can't go through or get blocked or have to pay higher premiums, insurance rates stay elevated. Oh, hey, dude. Sorry, bro. I love you, dude. I love you, dude. Have a good day, man. What? It's right there. I don't know if there's a point in wearing it. Hey, dude, don't take my cast, bro. I'm gonna charge you allowance just for the thought of that, bro. All right, love you, dude. Have a good day. You try to take my cast, dude. I'm docking you 50 cents. All right, I love you, dude. Have a good day. What was I saying? But yeah, there's a big difference. So based off of what we know going into the ceasefire, the Iran-Oman protocol that was floated repeatedly was a, quote, monitoring system, not a full reopening. Iran was already letting friendly nations through anyway. And so if the ceasefire deal includes them maintaining any control over the Hormuz Strait, there's still risks to oil premiums. There's still risks to markets. And I think that's the way we have to look at it.
I think we're basically going to end up with a toll booth shipping lane.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the risk right now. And that's going to fundamentally change the dynamic there with oil. The world, for the world. And so I think that's obviously the risk here.
Polaris says live now, Pentagon briefing. XS going to speak soon.
Is he really?
Well, that's two different people saying that. Polaris said the first part.
Yeah, you're right. Here it is. They're really not on it with their... Okay, there you go. Yeah, you're right. Here.
Iran has been a threat to the United States and the free world for 47 years. Chants of death to America, targeting our people, killing Americans, lying and blackmailing their way toward a nuclear weapon, so they thought. No longer. Not on our watch.
Let's see if I can find
Other presidents mark time and kick the can down the road.
Pentagon briefing.
Yeah, again, I'm watching it. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with markets here. Like, we could watch this, but it's also a little bit too... It's a little bit too much sometimes for the stream. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, Applied Digital earnings today. We have a bunch of earnings coming out over the next couple of weeks here. Today specifically, we have Delta Airlines come in. They beat EPS, beat revenue, had good growth. This evening, again, we've got Applied Digital at almost 5 o'clock. So, I mean, I know they're going to say good things in this, like regarding the conflict. Oil's still dipping down, though, on this. Look at Hexat is speaking right now.
Epic Fury decimated Iran's military and rendered it combat ineffective for years to come. You see, in less than 40 days, one of our combatant commands, Central Command, CENTCOM, using less than 10% of America's total combat power, dismantled one of the world's largest militaries. The world's leading state sponsor of terrorism proved utterly incapable of defending itself.
Yeah, I think I told you this, John, but
territory.
Anybody else that spends a lot of time at a desk every day, you can actually, they've always said you can offset sitting for 8 to 10 hours a day with roughly 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week. But you can actually offset it much more efficiently just by doing 10 squats every hour you're at your desk. New study came out pretty recently. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I mean,
no, 100%.
not saying you shouldn't work out as well, because exercise is good, but if it's more efficient, I would take advantage of it.
So the headline here is Brit says don't work out.
That's exactly what I said. Just yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I'm posting it right now. Brit says don't work out. Brit says working out is bad. All right. Yeah. So oil's still breaking down. On what Hegseth is speaking. And we're covering what he's speaking here, but we're really watching the price of oil and how it moves from this. And again, I think the real risk is that we're going to be paying higher oil premiums moving forward. Reverse Brit.
I listen to Brit like Frodo listens to Gandalf. I'm way more wise than Gandalf, so you should listen to me.
Hegseth says their missile program is functionally destroyed. We own their skies. He said U.S. had decisive military victory in Operation and Epic Fury. This is a great, magnificent day for global peace. They begged for a ceasefire, he says. He calls the campaign a historic and overwhelming victory. So Hegseth is speaking right now. Oil is down, but I'm watching oil right here to see what happens. Let's see. A lot of people are saying, yeah, but we're gonna have to pay for everything. In regards to the price of oil, that might be true. We'll see. But yeah, really interesting day today, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, it's nice that it can be interesting without being totally stressful for once.
Yeah, it's a bullish day, honestly, which is great. A bullish day, which is great. Let's see what happens, but it is the bullish day today. Markets are up, oil's down. Let's see if this holds here, guys, is the real question. Does this actually freaking hold? And again, I asked the chat earlier, a lot of people are saying this is a bull trap. We're still looking at Hegseth's quotes here, so we're watching these quotes. Oil has started to jump a little bit, though. Again, he did say their missile program was functionally destroyed. Again, he said Iran begged for the ceasefire, conducted 800 strikes Tuesday night, devastating their defense. This is a great and magnificent day for global peace, he says. Yeah, we got the Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. Eastern time. No, we got stuff going on today. We got the Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. He said Iran's factories have been brought to the ground. Oil's starting to rebound a little bit, though. We're back up to 92.80s here. We're under 93. I'm watching 93 right here for oil. Let's see if this level holds. But Hegseth is speaking right now, so it's a little bit riskier to take positions, I think. But I am watching this 93 level. Yeah, just based off of the stuff he said. Who knows how long he's going to speak. We're also going to have General Kane speak. We also broke highs of the day about 3 minutes ago on the NASDAQ here. If we look at this, here's the NASDAQ. We did break highs of the day about 3 minutes ago. Got up to 257s here. So you can see the NASDAQ. But the range is so large here. So just be careful. I would be careful trading today at all. Just based off of everything going on right now. Mixed as well with Fed minutes report today and economic data for the rest of this week. Range, potential bear trap or bull trap, and more. I would just be careful.
Is silver up too with gold?
Probably. I haven't even looked at silver today, but I'm assuming it is. Yeah, silver's up 77s. Was at 73s yesterday. It's at 77s now. So percentage-wise, gold, silver, S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, most Mag 7 stocks, they're all up.
Okay. I figured it probably would be. I was just curious. I don't know why. Like I said, I just like watching gold and silver specifically.
Yeah. It's a big bullish day. I mean, this market has been scared of this market has been getting scared of the Iran conflict since it started, specifically in regards to inflation. And so now that there's a ceasefire, markets are obviously up a lot. Again, even rate hike odds are down. Odds of a rate cut are up slightly. It's still looking less likely that we're going to cut rates this year, but we have a 37% chance or 47% chance that we cut interest rates sometime this year. So it's looking better for rate cuts. It's looking better for markets in general with this ceasefire announced. NASDAQ is getting close. We're still about $1,000 away from all-time highs, but we're getting closer to where we were here. So remember, the NASDAQ was down, 9.5% or more from this conflict, from its all-time highs. Now the NASDAQ is only down, let's see the percentage. So percentage-wise, the NASDAQ is only down, let's see, all-time high 26,399. We are now down to 25,230s. So, yeah, now the NASDAQ has basically cut that deficit in half. Now we are only down about 4.5% from all-time highs now. So it was over 9, it was over 10, I think, at some point for the NASDAQ. Now we are only down 4.5%. So we're getting closer to all-time highs. We still got 4.5% to go before we break them on the NASDAQ. But we're doing a lot better. The S&P 500 here, looking at it under the same context. Relative to all-time highs, S&P 500 all-time highs were 70.43. We are now at 68.40s. So the S&P 500 is only about 2.5%, 2.88% actually, away from all-time highs. So the S&P 500 less than 3% away from all-time highs. The NASDAQ's only about 4.5% away from all-time highs. So a lot closer than where we were here in a lot of these. So we'll see what happens here. But markets are up. Oil is down. Somebody knocking on the door.
I can kind of hear whatever you're talking about.
Yeah, here, hold on.
Well, this is a little sudden. I don't have anything.
Oh, wait, sorry. I don't know if somebody was knocking on the door or what. I thought I heard something. Oil's getting close to these lows, though. Yeah, futures are up a lot. Yeah, General Kane is now speaking. So.
Any clip notes or bullet points on what's been said so far, or not really?
Yeah, we got some. So essentially what's been said here is that their new supreme leader's been wounded. Now we have a chance at real peace. The Pentagon has done its part for now. Again, Hegseth said, but now we have a chance at real peace. To U.S. troops involved, stay ready. Qatar begins work to resume production at the LNG export hub. A ceasefire means they will never have nuclear weapons, he says, and more. So far, so good with ceasefire. We'll see if
Here's a question: If the ceasefire does not end up being permanent or lead to some kind of long-lasting agreement, do you think we'll see an increase in oil exports from the United States?
Well, yeah. I mean, number one, yeah. I think we might see it anyway, or based off of the Strait of Hormuz. But yeah, I mean, definitely think that's true. If it doesn't hold, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with that said, Kane just quoted as saying, "Ceasefire is a pause. The joint force remains ready to resume combat." So, what do you guys think? Does the ceasefire last? Let me know.
Would like to, but I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting thing. Like, we'll see. It's an issue.
But it'll give us a chance to reach some other kind of accommodation or agreement.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think so. I hope it does, and I think they're gonna really work like they're gonna really work to get that done.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, I think so. I also think that regardless of like other oil exports, I think we'll see an increase in LNG exports no matter what, just because we're building up those facilities.
Right. No, 100%. So I might actually trade this. I might actually short this. I'm looking at maybe short. I know it's a risky thing. We're gonna keep it really small. But I kind of want to short this right here.
So
the problem is Kane is speaking right now. Yeah. The problem is Kane is speaking right now, so there might be some more variance in terms of direction. But I do kind of want to short this. Kind of missed the move back down here, though, to be honest. Should I short this, chat? See if you guys can fix your accuracy right now.
Either that or they can be the scapegoat for why this goes wrong.
I know, dude. Honestly, that's what I was kind of going with. Yeah, it's Wednesday now. What do you think about CPI numbers on Friday? I think CPI numbers will be really interesting to watch under the current context of markets. I think it includes oil premiums. And so it's relevant to watch right now for sure, based off of everything going on. Now, will it come in higher than expected? I have no idea. You know, CPI, we'll give a guess later. I should have shorted already. Don't short, I'm getting cooked. Not yet, no. No. Do you think NVIDIA can break out of 185s? I think it could. I don't know if it's going to, but I think it could.
Regarding NVIDIA. Not yet. Don't sue us. I mean, don't sue me.
That's the first thing I'm doing. Yeah. We'll see, guys. Listen.
Also, I'm asking this because I have not been keeping up with it. I was ramping up like okay.
You can keep talking, but Maddie's here. What?
I'll just wait.
This one. I love you. I blame you, Maddie, for this. You know?
Me too.
You know, I work tirelessly to win at ping pong, and because of that, I blame you for this. All right.
Weakened your elbow for jujitsu.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Yeah, Nasdaq's starting to come back down. I should have shorted it, guys. Yeah, chat was wrong again. I wonder if some people are genuinely going to start doing inverse chat. Look at this drop right here, dude. Look, man, I wanted to short it. Let's talk about it. Hold on, wait. Let me make sure nothing's going on here. First, let me cover the news. Yeah, Kane said U.S. forces struck more than 13,000 targets. And the Saudi Arabia east-west oil pipeline hit by a drone, apparently. That might be
just now or recently?
Dude, I wanted to short.
I told y'all were going to be the scapegoat.
Dude. Man. Wow. Here we are.
Stop falling. Also, now you need to show Maddie who's really boss and beat her with your offhand.
No, I could never, dude. I could never do it. My left hand's okay. Right hand's, you know. I'm right-handed. This is my right hand. Yeah, so we're still breaking down. We're at 24,188 here. So the market is flushing back down here. So we are dipping down. In terms of economic reports at the open, or at 8:30, we don't really have anything like that. We do have the Fed minutes report later. So we do have the FOMC minutes report. You should have shorted. I know, Faye. I know, man. I should have done it. So
even though I remember Faye saying not yet.
I know, dude. I know. Sorry, bro. I expect apologies from everybody. Again, I'm gonna put this into perspective. I wanted short here. This is some type of news-driven move, though. It's got to be. I don't know if the drone attacks in Saudi are causing this. I'm not sure.
I know we have
what's moving things.
I know we have the news or the press briefing or news conference or whatever going on. But I mean, has there been any tweets or?
Well, no. I think this is from the Saudi. There's a Saudi announced an attack that they were hit.
The pipeline thing. Okay.
Yeah. I think because again, that news came out actually right here on the it's at 8:18 market time, right here. That news came out, and so maybe people are interpreting and digesting this as no ceasefire or like a break of the ceasefire type of thing. We're still not dropping much though, so could just be a short-term reaction. That's what I'm reading here. I might be wrong about this, but I think that does kind of make some sense. Yeah, and that pipeline transports crude from the Gulf to the Red Sea for export. So it's an important pipeline.
That's the case. Wow, we had a whole 12-hour ceasefire or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I think it's different, but I don't know if it's necessarily a break of ceasefire, but I think markets are pricing in it's at least somewhat negative, obviously. Somewhat escalatory. Yeah, Kane's still speaking right now.
You never know. I mean, it also could be like it may not be a break in the ceasefire anyway. I mean, it could be like a splinter group, because there's always, like, in cases like this, holdouts who, don't want conflicts to stop.
Right. No, for sure. And look at oil. So oil is elevated from this report. And again, this news came out on at 18. So this news does follow that trend. The news came out here. So, yeah, I think that's what this is. I think that's what this is, which is the east-west oil pipeline in Saudi Arabia was hit. I think that's what this is. And that's why oil is jumping up. That is why the NASDAQ fell down in that time period. It doesn't excuse the chat for being wrong. But,
hopefully the real-world reactions to this will stabilize the market. Hopefully there won't be an overreaction to this.
Right. No, 100%. It's not a huge reaction so far. We did get a little bit of increased volume. Oil did jump back up to over 94s. So we kind of retraced some of the move we did earlier this morning. But yeah. We'll see what happens here, guys.
Also, just out of curiosity, have you been keeping up with the buildup in domestic chip production? Are we moving along on that, or do you have any idea?
Domestic chip production?
Like building up our own facilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely been happening. Hold on. I think we just got news that I'm trying to see where Brent crude is at. Yeah, Brent crude well over $100 a barrel now. Brent crude's dropped under $100 a barrel early this morning. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of we have like Taiwan Semiconductors that produce a lot of chips. I think it needs to be a priority of domestic chip production. And I think that's what we're doing to a certain extent. Obviously, we're trying to get less dependent on others to produce the chips.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking, because I know we, over the past 6 years or so, we've talked about ramping up domestic chip production, building new facilities here, and I haven't really been keeping track lately how fast that's going. But I was just curious if you had.
Yeah, no, it's going well. Again, like I see some people in chat mentioning this, and this is true. Taiwan Semiconductors is building a location in Arizona.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I did get confirmation, guys, that oil gains are up and the market is down, as Financial Times reports getting wider airing that the east-west pipeline was hit around 2 hours ago. So it was hit recently, is other news. And again, oil back up to $95 a barrel right now. So oil has popped back up to $95 a barrel. Bro just asked AI for an answer? Honestly, I really didn't, Y'all didn't see me typing at all. Honestly, it's hard for me to type this quickly. I didn't ask AI for an answer. I'm not saying I never ask AI for answers, because I definitely do.
Just not this time.
But not this time. I don't really need AI to answer that. Of course, we're starting to produce our own chips, the problem with Taiwan is that it's close to China, and they're not really the most friendly of, relationships there, and so obviously there's a need to start producing our own chips here. I mean, I think it's obvious.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I know things are not, well, may not stay stable in that region. Let's say it that way.
Right, for sure.
Helium short, yeah, helium helps with COWAS. What's COWAS? K-O, I mean, I know it's an initialism or an acronym, but...
Look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ did dump down here. Under the 200 exponential. I don't know, we kind of broke out of that range I drew earlier here on the NASDAQ. I'm looking at, if we're just looking at levels, I'm looking at 150 right here. We got the big isolated low right here on the NASDAQ at 150. And we're close enough to that now to make it worthwhile paying attention to. I'm going to watch 25200s, or 25200s here as well. Close enough to the exponential moving average, the 200 EMA, that I'm going to pay attention to. 250 also relevant just because it's really close to where we are. Yeah, look at that 200 level. So look, this is why I watch these 200 levels. Like, look, here's 200. A lot of confirmation at that 200 level in the NASDAQ. So those are the main levels I'm watching short term. Again, 150, 200, and 250. I'm going by $25 increments. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the typing test. Yeah, SanDisk and MU are going much higher. Yeah, memory prices have been wild. One of the more surprising aspects of how orderly things were, they set up a functional checkpoint. Yeah, we're going to do the Fed minutes report. Yeah, I'll turn the music down a little bit. I think I actually turned the music up after the chat was wildly wrong about whether I should buy 24,000 yesterday. And so I really wanted to really kind of, show everybody. So I put some sad music on, turn the music up.
You should have rickrolled them.
I know. I should have, man. But no, we did get Hegseth say again, the military will ensure Iran complies with the ceasefire specifically. Brent crude is under $100 now.
Thanks for the answer, D Sharp. Appreciate it.
But yeah, we're streaming the Fed minutes report for sure. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So look, there's 25,200. So we did just tap that 25,200 level right here. It's also close to the 200 exponential, so it might hold as a level. How are you gonna do a typing test now? I don't know, man. I can type.
Is that something you do like often?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm the fastest typer around, and so
no one can ever bring you down.
I know, I was just about to say that. Yeah, no, sometimes I'll joke around and do a typing test. I type about 100 words a minute.
Way more than me. I don't type slow, but I'm not particularly fast.
No, Powell's not speaking during the 1 p.m. Fed minutes report. It's a recap of what they did last time. So we're in the Q&A section of the Hegseth comments. Yeah. But no Powell speaking today. I wish I would have shorted that position though. I'm curious about maybe still shorting this move right here. What's the range like there, dude? I gotta trade micros right now. I'm gonna take one trade here, guys. We're gonna take one trade. Let me put this up so you guys can actually see it. It's definitely not a risk-free trade, but we're in here. We're short.
$3.99 is gas in South Carolina. I see like 350s, 360s where I am, unless you're buying like non-ethanol, and then it's up to like $4.40 a gallon.
Yeah. So again, I am down a little bit on this trade, but I want to see if it turns. It looks like a bear flag. I mean, short term on a 1 minute short term chart, but it's definitely not an easy money guaranteed trade. I'll give it a little time. See if we go down. I'll give it a second here, but $200 is kind of my risk level. Close to it. That's better. We've been raging most of the morning here, so.
says don't fall for the bear trap.
I mean, I'm not really falling for anything. I'm shorting a little rebound with pretty small size. We have a risk level right around 200, so if we keep getting rejected at 200, I mean, I like it a lot, but there we go. It's not easy money, though. I'll probably have to sit on this a little while and let it work. Again, use my coupon code BGT at checkout for all major prop firms. Tradeify, you can use it. They have some great direct-to-funded options. Lucid is the one I've been using a lot. I'm about to take a payout on this account right now. It's a Lucid account. Great way to learn. Most day traders lose money. You fund your own account thousands of dollars. Again, you're probably going to lose money. And again, we try to be honest with people. We try to just give people, the reality of trading here without claiming to be an expert selling some course or service or anything like that. And so if you want to help support us, coupon code BGT. Again, Lucid's got great options. You can go direct to funded on Lucid for like $238 if you use my coupon code right now. You also get 50% off. I believe it's 50% off. It might be 40%. But coupon code will get you the max discount. Again, here's the link for Lucid if you want to check it out. Again, it's a great way to help support your boy here in this channel. There's the link right there. I'll pin it to the top of the chat. They are an affiliate of mine. I am biased because I get paid by them. But again, it's genuinely useful, and you'll get the max discount using my coupon code BGT. Check it out. Let's see if we break down here, guys.
If it was easy, everybody'd be rich, and then nobody be rich.
Yeah, I always try to tell people that with like stock earnings, because you'll have people that, like, if a company reports good EPS, revenue, and guidance, they just kind of click buy. And then when the stock goes down afterwards, they're like, hey, it's rigged or it's manipulation or whatever it is. And that's not really what it is. It's more so that, markets are efficient sometimes. And so whatever that outcome is that's expected, that's kind of where the market is prior to the event. All right, so we're probably going to cut this pretty soon. That's usually where the market's at prior to the event, is at those levels. So there's the 200 exponential. And so the point is, if it was that easy where you could just sit around waiting to buy good EPS, good revenue, good guidance stocks, everybody would be rich. Nobody would do anything. They just sit around waiting to buy it. Unfortunately, it's just not like that. And
and like I said, then nobody would be rich because all that stuff is relative.
Right, exactly.
This has ever used anchored VWAP?
Yeah, I use the anchored one sometimes. I use a little bit of both. Hold on, I'm probably about to cut this, to be honest. I'll give it a second, but... There we go. We're starting to move down. All right. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not going to cut it. We respected the 200 exponential enough for me to stay in this thing, I think. Yeah, I mean, I haven't sold Nike. Again, like I said, with Nike, I made money in it, took profit, held a small piece, and now I'm just kind of sitting on that small piece. So am I down on that small piece? Absolutely, I'm down on it. But, again, it is kind of a long-term hold, and I'm not down anywhere nearly close enough to justify selling it. So yeah. What is BS blackout?
So the blue line is 200?
No, the blue line, I think the blue line is just a level that I drew, or some type of level on the chart. The 200 exponential is this green line right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see how the market reacts directly to it. This is why I watch the 200 EMA.
Okay.
Because we react like directly to that level a lot of the time, especially on a 1 minute chart. I think algorithms pick it up. You can see it on the chart here. What is the best way to preserve wealth in an inflation environment? Preserve wealth or cause wealth? I mean, number one, you got to hedge with something long term. Not an investment in professional. We're not, liable if you lose money, of course. You always got to make your own assessment, trade smart. I can't guarantee anything. But if you don't invest, you lose it over time to inflation. I mean, this is just obviously true. And so the way you protect it is you invest in something. Now you can go bonds, risk-off bonds, which are guaranteed returns by the U.S. government. The returns are much lower, and there's less compounding effect of it. You can do the S&P 500, but, in that situation, it's not guaranteed, and you're generally going to have to hold like a long time. So again, you got 50K. Let's say we have 3% inflation a year over a 15-year period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're going to lose almost $20,000 in buying power over a 15-year period. So if you don't invest in something, you're going to lose a huge chunk, almost half of your money basically. And so the way you combat this is you invest, and you invest in the S&P 500 as an example. And let's say you earn 10% average yield, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're going to turn that 50K into 200,000 plus, right? And then you could subtract the, what was it, the 20,000 you were going to lose, and you still profited pretty big from that, right? So the way you preserve wealth generally is you hold things long term, not an investment professional, but you generally hold things long term and you sit on them. When in doubt, zoom out. Most of the time, equities, indices are going to go up over time, and long-term investing is the biggest statistical edge you'll have in markets generally. Even the banks, right? The banks, they pay you your little 4% in CDs or whatever they pay you. But most of the time, what they're doing is they're investing in long-term assets, and then they're making 10 or 15 or whatever percentage they're making from that yearly, and they're paying you your little 4% out of that because they have the time to settle in the long term, and long term is really where the big compounding gains come from. And so that's really what it is. That's the game. That's the game. That's the game the banks play. That's the game the smart investors play.
I always like the idea of investing in land or real estate in general. Like, aren't there like co-ops where you can buy pieces of real estate holdings, and so like technically you're a landlord, you own like a small piece of a stock in an apartment building or whatever.
Yeah, there's real estate investment trust. There's lots of ways you can invest in real estate. The problem with owning actual real estate is that it's a freaking headache, bro.
It is.
Something's always breaking, something's always going on, it's just drama. And most people don't have it out. Like, again, I'm the type where I'm just going to pay a property manager to deal with it. It's still not, there's still some headaches there for sure, but it's less. But real estate's generally pretty profitable as well. Let's say real estate appreciates on average at 5%. So you buy a $250,000 property. If it appreciates at 5% over a 20-year period, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, that property is going to wildly appreciate. 660,000 at 10% or at 5% a year, over a 20-year period, and you're also in that period of time going to be able to ask for higher rent now. There's a 1% rule where you're supposed to be able to make about 1% ideally from that property annually. And so, not only is your property value going to appreciate at, and again, you might keep half of these profits, to be honest. But you're going to be able to ask for more rent as time goes on as well. So it's going to help keep up with inflation as well. So there's different ways to earn on real estate. A lot of tax benefits too, in terms of like depreciation and stuff like that. But it's definitely not passive, and it's a headache a lot of the time. Is the big issue with it. A lot of people would more so choose to just invest in the S&P or the NASDAQ or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was saying. That's what I was saying. I like the. I'm okay. If I had plenty of money, I'll just invest in land specifically and development. But that's why I like the idea of just owning, like I said, a small piece of a bunch of apartment buildings or whatever,
Right. No, 100%. You get burned. Yeah, 100%. All right, so we're basically flat on this trade here. We've been waiting here. But we are in this high volume area of the volume profile, so there's a chance we just chop here. Yeah, there's a chance we just chop. What do you guys think? Do we hold the green today? We did a poll earlier. 61% say yes, this is a bull trap. 39% says no. So yeah, there's a big chance the market, or the chat, thinks that we are in a bull trap. So I'm seeing some news break. The Iranian ambassador to the United Nations says Iran will approach peace negotiations with the U.S. with caution due to a big gap in trust, and remains militarily prepared. So that news came out.
That's just mirroring what we said in the Pentagon briefing.
Yeah. Hegseth also said Iran would be wise to get word out to their troops to stop firing. So apparently there's still some troops firing. And again, Hegseth did say it takes time for ceasefires to hold.
Yeah, the news has to spread. And like I said, there's not always, but oftentimes holdouts that don't want the fighting to stop.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm not saying we're in a bull trap, guys. I really don't know. Honestly, I think we're up a lot. I think there's markets are pricing in essentially a chance that this ceasefire turns into a broader peace deal. That's what markets are pricing in. Oil dumped, NASDAQ obviously pumped. So that's what markets are pricing in. Don't you hate when your entry turns into support, though? Let's see if we can break underneath this. Yeah, looking at crypto, guys. Crypto as well here, chat, has done pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so we're now green in this position here. We'll hold. But yeah, here is Bitcoin. Bitcoin well over 70,000 right now. Yeah, we do have applied digital earnings today. And I do want to just point out, nobody freaking knows what we're doing. Definitely not us.
Trying to say you're not omniscient, John?
Yeah, of course. John the Wise, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so we are breaking down a little bit. We're green. I'm going to wait until we break down a little bit more and then add to it as we get closer to this isolated low here at 155 is what I'm doing. So it's very small positions here. I just don't trust this market right now, and I think it's a news-driven market that could pop over under things quickly. And we'll see, guys. We'll see. Also, remember, guys, Apex sale ends tomorrow. Apex is currently offering 90% off. They have the cheapest accounts in the game, and the sale ends tomorrow. All right, so we are green here. We are green. I don't know if it's enough to add to it. We get a little bit closer to that position, I'll add to it. But again, Apex sales, end of day drawdown options are now available. No payout denials, no MAE rule, no 5-1 risk reward rule, built-in scaling, 50% consistency once you're funded. And Apex does have the cheapest accounts in the game. This sale ends tomorrow. I think the best bang for your buck, you can get the cheapest one for $19.90. The 50K one, if you use the end of day option, is like $35. I think that's the cheapest option here, or the best option, I should say, versus a lot of stuff. So that's the one I would go with personally, is the 50K one. And again, if you use my coupon code BGT at checkout, you'll get the max discount. And we'll put this link up if you want to help support the channel. You can check out Apex right now. Great way to learn. Again, most day traders lose money, and so if you fund your own account, you're probably going to lose. It's just what happens. It's a perfect middle ground of pressure. Like, you have some pressure, you're risking something, but $35 is a lot better risk to learn on than risking 5,000, 10,000, 25,000 if you go by the PDT rule. And here's the link if you want to check it out.
Someone says new sale will begin tomorrow.
Maybe. Yeah.
Gonna ask you something, man. Oh well.
Yeah. Again, we're starting to break down here. I'm still holding this position. I haven't stubbornly sold it yet. Not yet. We'll see if it holds. We're going to keep the same risk around 200s, but
I think we're going to start to trend sideways now, just based on the volume.
it's possible for sure. We're in the super high volume area, and this is a news-driven market here. So it's definitely possible we just kind of chop sideways. I'm hoping we can start to get under some of these levels here, because that's when I think we'll see like maybe a deeper breakdown. But it's not, even this area here is not necessarily like super low volume. Like, this is kind of a choppy area, I think. So
okay.
That's why I'm keeping it very small. I just don't trust it. That's why I didn't add to it either.
Yeah.
Like, it looks bearish, but if some news comes out that influences this, I mean, obviously we can just pivot the other way. We can just go the other way.
Yeah.
So
speaking of none of this, have you been keeping up with the, have you watched any of the Scrubs reboot yet?
I watched the first 2 episodes. Real quick though, sorry. First ship passes through the Strait of Hormuz with Iran's permission after the ceasefire. Some news we just got. So the first ship passed through the strait with Iran's permission, which I think is the big asterisk next to this. Again, I don't necessarily think that's good. And I think if we have to get Iran, if ships need Iran's permission now to pass through the strait, I think the global supply of oil will be more limited than it was pre-conflict here. So I do think if we have to get their permission, or if ships in general need their permission to pass it, we will have more limited oil supply, more extending into the future.
Well, if nothing else, it'll at least slow down the entire process if everybody's got to ask for permission every time they go in or out through whatever you want to say.
Right. Yeah, 100%. And so it's just going to lead to more potential scarcity.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I'm probably going to start to cut this here. I'm not going to let this run back up to retest the 200 exponential. And so I'm getting ready to cut it here. Even if it puts in a lower high, I'll let it test 200, but I'm not going to, unless we reject now immediately back down, I'm going to cut this. Yeah, we're out.
Also, to be fair, I think if that does happen, nature abhors a vacuum. Somebody will fill that gap if traffic slows down through Hormuz.
Right, exactly. No, 100%. Yeah, so look at that rip up. So I got out just in time here. So I do see this probably news of the first ship passing through the strait. So first ship reportedly passed through the Strait of Hormuz with their permission after the ceasefire, according to state TV. Nasdaq's pushing up here. Let me see if there's anything else to drive this.
Yeah, it's a good uptick.
Yeah. I was a bear very short term after this drop, is what it was. It's not like I'm going to hold long term. But yeah, that is a big uptick. Again, first ship passes through the Strait of Hormuz with Iran's permission. Let me know bull or bear in chat right now. Let me know, are you bullish or bearish? Look, we just did rip back down under the 200 exponential here. We are starting to flush back down. Yeah, so pawn, that's actually pretty old news. That happened, oh wait, damage is under evaluation. So we did get some news like that. That's what caused this drop back here, pawn, is right here. This drop was probably caused by that. Unless we got an update to it, which is possible. But right now, the news that's getting circulated is the first ship passes through the Strait of Hormuz with their permission after the ceasefire.
Jay asked, what are you trading exactly?
I'm trading the NASDAQ futures contract. So in futures, there's no PDT rule. Get you around the PDT rule. I can use these prop firms to kind of build up profits and stuff like that. And so I'm mostly trading futures on a funded account. Is what I'm trading mostly. I'm very tempted to short this though. I really am very tempted to short this. But I'm gonna wait.
Just listen to whatever the chat says. It's not like they were wrong yesterday or anything.
No, whatever they say, I believe. I do believe. Yeah. Yeah, whatever they say, listen, I should just do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what do you think of Scrubs so far?
I liked it a lot. I just didn't finish it. I just didn't have time. We've been really busy the last few weeks, but I did like it. I like the original Scrubs a lot too.
Oh, me too. I've been keeping up with it. And it's not as funny as it was, at least not yet. Maybe it'll develop more, but I do appreciate that they got a lot of the original cast back, and it does have the same feel as the original show, at least. The rhythm feels the same.
No, 100%. I like it a lot. We just didn't have time to finish it, basically. But
I know.
We'll get into it.
You should love Scrubs. It's an amazing show.
Scrubs is great.
Funny,
Scrubs is great.
Funny, heartwarming.
Yeah, that's right.
Heartstrings.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so I did see news just dropped that says the U.S. would be treated as a party to any Israeli attack and face a decisive response. But markets are mostly going up right now. We can look at oil here and see that oil is falling and NASDAQ is going higher here. So we'll see if the ceasefire holds. I think that's the big if right now. Let me see. I should have. I want to save this account because I'm about to take a withdrawal from it. So I don't really want to take any more trades on this one. Let me go to a different one. Yeah, but look at the NASDAQ here. So the NASDAQ is climbing higher. We're at 218s right now.
You're a little quiet for me. For some
Am I
reason.
quiet?
Just, I don't know about everybody else, but for me.
Yeah, I mean, usually I have my volume turned up higher here. So let me turn my volume up a little bit higher. I know that's desktop audio. Sorry, I just turned you up, Britt. Nobody wants that. No.
Well, it's always, hey, no, it's always good to hear more of me.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna turn my volume up here. There we go.
Okay.
I should be noticeably louder now.
Happy birthday to my dad. I'm not John, but happy birthday to your dad.
Yeah, just be careful. They'll talk you into saying some stuff, so just be careful. Most people. But
Yeah,
happy birthday to your dad, bro. Happy birthday. You know.
Oh yeah, no, believe me, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna repeat anything inflammatory just because they ask me in chat.
Yeah. You just gotta be careful. What's the chat? You know.
I understand.
Okay, it's better now. All right, cool. All right, we're back. Here's oil. No. Oh, this account. Okay. This is an Apex challenge account. I don't want to take too much here, but we'll swing for the fences here on this Apex challenge account. We'll see what happens. I don't know how much room it has though. Hey, what's up, Max? Intel is over 55.
That's what I was looking at. Are they? They're teaming up with Elon Musk. Is that true?
Yeah, I think they're joining the Tariff project. Is what I heard regarding them. See, I don't know.
I'm not reading that upside down, Polaris.
Yeah, we'll see. Here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ at 25 215s. I don't know where my max loss here is in this. No, I'm long in this. Again, this is just a challenge account that I've had that I'm already down on. I don't even know where this came from. I got a bunch of challenge accounts just kind of laying around. And so I went long. Honestly, I was trying to see if I could trade it because some of them it says I can't trade them. I must have hit the max loss already in some of them. I'm not the most organized with it. But there we go. That's better.
Oh, good morning, Max.
I believe in the green. I don't know if anybody knows me, you know I got a childish mind, you know. All right, so yeah, but again, markets are reacting now to the first ship passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Like that's really what this is.
Oh yeah, John, I'm way behind. How is Count of Monte Cristo developing?
It's very good. It's very good. They switched it up enough to where like you kind of know what's gonna happen, but you know,
There's enough difference to keep it interesting.
Right. Like you know what's gonna happen here, but it's they switch it up enough to where it's still enjoyable. Yeah, join our Discord, guys. It's completely free. It doesn't cost a penny here. Check it out. Join our Discord. There it is.
Yeah, I read the.
Sorry. I was gonna say if you join our Discord, you'll see hilarious pictures.
Of what?
Like of this.
I like hilarious pictures.
You know, of this right here.
Let's see.
Name this picture, guys. Give it a name. It's art. You know, name this picture.
I recognize that show. I just can't think of what it is.
Look, there it is.
That Suits. It is Suits. Okay.
Y'all are freaking ridiculous. I told them to name the picture. They said Buff Daddy. That's the name of it right there. Listen, I'm just going with that, you know. All right, guys, I'm down in this position. I know I didn't ask you guys which way this is going, but I do blame y'all, you know. Yeah, I do blame you guys.
You look so sad, John.
That was the kind of the point of it. Yeah, I could beat you guys with one arm. Fresh Prince of Louisiana. I like it.
I'd like to see what that looks like exactly. I imagine they're living on Highland Road or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, we're right here at the 205 mark. We'll see if we hold. And 200 expeditions right here. And look, there we bounce. So we'll see if that continues. Yeah, ignore the trolls. It's probably, honestly, realistically, it's probably one guy that just kind of creates a bunch of accounts. I've seen this before with other guests. And so it's one of those situations where you just got to kind of ignore him. Again, it's probably the same guy.
Also, don't throw shade at my friend.
Yeah, again, it's probably the same guy. I kind of feel bad for the guy, though. Like, the guy's still watching my stream and still doing the same thing. Like, you know he's just struggling in his life, you know?
Or maybe he's very dedicated, you know? Do what you love, you know?
That's right. You know? All right, we're green here, guys. We're green.
Oh, dude. Oh, and I love that episode of Seinfeld. I've been trying to get John to watch. I don't know if he ever did, but that is a hilarious episode. The Kramer karate episode, John. Did you ever see that?
I know you missed the GIF that somebody posted in the Discord yesterday of it.
I love it. It was a great reveal, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Britt used to mess with me and tell me I was in jiu-jitsu. I was the Kramer of Seinfeld. So I was at jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Yeah, so we're breaking down here. We're kind of sideways over the last like 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm trying to give it time. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning here though, guys. So we are heading towards the opening bell in 30 minutes.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm going to change my nickname to Buff Daddy, you know. I think I'm only going to respond to that if unless somebody responds back, unless somebody, you know, references me as that. No response.
That's Buff Daddy or like Buff Daddy J, you know?
Yeah. 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 I'd probably accept either one. What's up, DJ? We're green here, guys. We're just not very green, and the market's mostly flat, so I'm waiting for us to push up. That is 9 o'clock, though. Maybe we'll get a bullish push. There we go. That's better. Let's see if the bulls stay in control here. Yeah, I see somebody saying, I looked into funded accounts. I would say, like, the way you have to look at it is, like, Apex is probably the cheapest accounts, right? So if you're looking for cheap, Apex is probably the right one. You know, it's probably the cheapest, depending on where you go. Take Profit probably has the best rules for beginners, and you can find the links and the promo code to all of this stuff in the description. Lucid has the best options of each, and the direct-to-funded option is great. One of the cheaper direct-to-funded options in the game. I'm going to take some of this off now. We're up a couple hundred. We're just going to start to scale out of this position. And then Tradeify also has really good direct-to-funded, and they've updated a lot of stuff, and they're really good as well. So just check them out. There's the link in the description. You can use coupon code BGT at checkout, and you'll get the max discount.
How are the rules different for beginners?
Well, take profit just has less restrictions on what you can get a payout with in terms of trading style. I'm gonna start taking some more off here. We just got this really nice move up, so I'm gonna take another. I'll let the last little bit run though. Yeah, I'll leave a little bit. I'm not gonna take all of it off, but I'll take enough of it off to be okay here. Yeah, all good. We're still pushing up though. Let me see about news. Make sure no breaking news happened. Yeah, again, the big news that we've gotten is that the East-West oil pipeline carrying 7 million per day of crude from the Gulf has been attacked, according to Financial Times. We're still heading up. Alibaba AI exec Zhu is going to focus on Zhao, I think is probably what it is, to focus solely on AI. Roll the information reports. Company names Zhao the chief AI architect of new tech CMTE. Yeah, we did get over this high volume node right here, and so maybe we'll hold some support around that. Where do you get all your market news from? I get it from a lot of different places, to be honest. World Bank also predicts 2.1% growth for the region in 2026, down from 2.2 in January, so slightly worse. And remember, we do have the FOMC minutes report live at 2 p.m. today. So we do have FOMC minutes live 2 p.m. today.
I just saw the Kramer gif.
Yeah.
I think that's the kid from Little Giants.
It is the kid from Little Giants. Yeah. The annexation of Puerto Rico. No, it isn't.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. The greatest play of all time, Brick. Come on now.
Yeah, it was basically the football version of Big Green, yeah. Soccer.
Yeah, that's right. I always loved Little Giants, though. I must have watched that movie 1,000 times as a kid.
Me too. Ed O'Neill makes it great, in my opinion.
He does.
Just like everything else he was in.
Yeah. All right, so we are starting to get a pullback here. I can hold this break even. I mean, we've already taken enough profit off of it. It's not going to be a losing trade here. So we'll give it some time. Oil's flushing down. Markets are up. We're just going to give this more time here, guys.
Yeah, you're still quiet for me. I guess you're loud enough, so it's not a big deal, but...
Am I?
Just for me, I think the chat can hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Oil's flushing. I use 3 accounts for options to get around PDT, but I like to trade when the market is closed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, futures are good for that way. Day trading futures is very similar to day trading stocks. It's not completely the same. Like, you can only trade indices or indexes like S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, but those are made up of stocks anyway. So a lot of the time, like if you look at NVIDIA and then you look at the NASDAQ, they move in a very, very similar way. Also, this summer, we're probably going to be getting single stock futures anyway. So you'll be able to trade the biggest stocks that have futures contracts based around them as well. So starting the summer, you'll probably get that. Yeah, so we're going to be day trading the NASDAQ mostly. I'm still in this position. You can look at oil, though, and see oil has basically been coming back down here. So for the opening bell, guys, let's do another poll here. I don't think I've done a poll in a minute. For the opening bell, do we have bullish or bearish reaction? Is going to be the question for the poll today. Do we have a bullish or bearish reaction for the opening bell? We're going to end this poll. 60% of people think we're in a bull trap right now. Are you bullish or bearish for today's open? I'm gonna give a neutral option as well. I've been doing that lately.
All right. Have a good one, Faye.
Yeah, see you, Faye.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, so we got the poll now live. So far, 65% are bullish, 32% are bearish, and about 10% are neutral. Yeah, I do see the World Bank estimates coming out. I don't know if those are like big influencing things. But they reduced the economic growth projections for this year to 4 that's for a different country. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for the US. China, they think their China economy is going to grow by 4.3%. Yeah, we'll see what gas and other stuff does, though. I'm still in this trade. I'm not really selling it yet, but we're gonna wait. Profit takers at the open. I think it's very possible we get profit takers at the open. I think we're up a lot on the ceasefire news, and there's still some questions here, you know. So I do think we could see a pullback. The IEH says they will feel the consequences for many months, if not years, and does not expect energy policy consequences to be resolved quickly. So we have that going on here as well. And let's see what the opening bell brings us here, guys. What do we have? We have 20 minutes left. Okay, so we are moving up a little bit here. If we can get past some of these levels, like 230, 240, that might be nice, but
Huge BTC candle, huh? So what do you think was the most important lesson you learned as a beginning trader, John? Like, what helped you the most when you figured it out?
Trade small. Like, I get it. Everybody's trying to, like, realistically, a lot of people are trying to sell prop space, right? And so they're taking like 10, 20 accounts, and they're trying to go crazy because they just want you to keep buying props, right? And so they're trying to set that standard. A lot of them do. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them do. I think it's much better to trade small because you're going to have more room, especially in the beginning of trading. It's probably better to just trade really, really short, really, really small, slowly increase your size versus like there's a lot of marketing out there for trading. And I think a lot of gamblers like trading. And so they're really tempted to see the big swings, the big waves of profit. But I think realistically, and especially if you're new, scale down your size, trade small. You'll be able to think more clearly with smaller size. If size is too big, you're going to be swinging from emotion here. So
basically, like you said, keep it small and learn to read the market.
Right, exactly.
As best you can.
Yeah, for sure. Just trade small, trade slow. Don't need to take all this crazy amount of risk unnecessarily, especially in the beginning. You're still probably going to lose regardless, to be honest. Like, you're probably going to lose regardless of anything. And so it's better to just keep it small, keep it short.
Minimize your losses. Right.
Learn how to manage that risk responsibly without giving up your life savings, basically, is what it is.
Okay.
But it takes time, and it's like I've said before, it's like kind of like Pavlov and classical conditioning. You just do it over and over again until you become better at it. And the more you do it, the better at it you become generally. But if you don't trade small for the first little while, the likelihood that you're going to make it to a point in which you're conditioned to do it well, you know, the likelihood goes down that that's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, size matters. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I do see the tolls news here. So yeah, see what we get. We got the Fed minutes report today, so we do have FOMC minutes. Again, that goes live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, guys. 2 p.m. Yeah, you can use a simulator, but a simulator-based simulator is not really going to get it done either because there's no emotion attached to it. And trading is, a lot of it is about learning how to manage your emotions. And we all have strong and weak periods in that way. You know, we all have strong or weak periods of time. So it's all about managing emotions. A pure simulated trading is not really going to teach you anything. You're just going to keep adding size until you win, and then you're going to say, look, I'm rich. I can get rich trading. And then when you actually trade with real money, it goes wildly different. You know, ask me how I know this.
How do you know this?
It's because I've done it. I've done exactly that. I've tried paper, thought I was going to get rich, moved to real money, and lost. So that is the game we play here, guys. That's the game we play.
At least you're honest about it.
Yeah. And again, the IEA chief says we'll feel the consequences for many months of this conflict, if not years. Does not expect energy policy consequences to be resolved quickly. Is some catalysts that we're getting. They anticipate that if the strait is not fully reopened, restrictions, for example, in air traffic will begin in mid-May. S&P believes the ongoing impact of energy shocks due to the Middle East war and governance-related issues would wane by the second half of the year, though. They said, IEA chief said, if the Strait of Hormuz is not fully reopened, Europe can still get through April without major problems. But after a few weeks later, it will become much more difficult, especially with diesel and kerosene. So, we'll see. This is the 200 exponential moving average right here. Very relevant level. Yeah, you didn't only lose money, but lost time playing in a demo account. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. It happens, man. It really does. You get used to it, but you got to learn under some real money conditions, to be honest. All right, guys, we got 18 minutes left, 17 minutes. I'm still in this position here. I'm going to add to it and then hold it break even, I think. And I think my break even level, we're going to make it at like 215.
John is called Buff Daddy now.
That's right. You guys know. You guys know.
I read this somewhere. What do you think the odds are we move from an oil-based economy to an AI-based economy in the next however long?
Ooh, I think it'll take time to unseat oil as the basis for our economy, to be honest. But I think AI is getting to a point there. Maybe I think it'll take some time though. Oil runs the world. Yeah, oil runs the world, you know. So like, I think we'll have.
I totally agree. It's ubiquitous. You know, I mean, like it's everywhere and in everything.
Right. I think realistically, it's going to be a mix of both.
I think so. A hybridization.
Yeah. What do you guys think, chat? Lost 23,000 learning how to trade. Yeah, this is the 200 exponential right here. Honestly, 23,000 is not even that much, to be honest.
Kind of relative.
Yeah. Don't fall for the bull trap. Manage your losses. I mean, I'm already green in the trade. We're not going to lose money here at all. Market really has started to slow down over the last few minutes here, so I'm trying to just give it enough time to work for me. But really, since last 15 minutes, market's gone basically sideways. Do you think the market is overbought with the likely of just 14-day ceasefire? Your thoughts? I think markets are pricing in. I said this earlier. I think markets are pricing in that during this 2-week ceasefire, we'll have a more set in stone end to this conflict here. And so I think that's what markets are honestly pricing in right now. But I also think we're up a lot heading into the opening bell. We're up a lot. And so, you know, we'll see what happens here. But markets are still up a lot.
All electric motors still need grease. No, I know. I agree. That's what I was saying when when I said it was ubiquitous. People have no idea how tied into their daily lives oil and like crude byproducts are. I mean, it's everywhere, literally.
No, 100%. Yeah, we use them for everything, lubrication, everything.
Yep.
I am probably gonna cut this now. I mean, I'm still green on the trade, but I don't like the breakdown that we're getting here, so I'm just gonna get out and wait for this now. We'll see if we get closer to the opening bell. Quantum computers will run the world by 2030. I don't know, man. 2030 is kind of short term. I think if we look at like quantum QBTS and more, I mean, they're up a little bit today because everything's up today basically, but I think that's a little early. So we'll see, but it's
longer
early.
than that to integrate everything.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, might be wrong. I understand the growth rate on those kinds of things. You know, it is exponential, but I still think that's a bit of an overshoot.
I mean, it's possible. I think 4 years, less than 4 years. I don't know. I think that's a little early to say that quantum is going to completely run the world by then. I think it's very early. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be underestimating how quickly it grows. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not going to buy the 200 exponential. To be honest, we're a little too close to the opening bell for me to really want to take this position. So, we're a little too close to the bell. Buy or sell right now, guys. Buy or sell. Looking at our poll numbers here. We are at 60% bullish, 28% bearish, 12% neutral. Yeah, I see that one, Pawn. Yeah, we're starting to break down under the 200 EMA. Yeah, and Britt, I'm not trying to cut you off if I do. It's more so that I've run the stream by myself for a while, so I got to get used to it. Number two is, like, I'm also trying to cover breaking news. And so I always told Britt, like, prior to this conflict, or prior to him coming on stream, that if some breaking news comes out that I'm just now reading, I am going to cut you off and I'm going to announce the news. And I think the chat would prefer that.
It said you cut me off. I wasn't looking.
I mean, I'm going to let you finish, Britt. But right now, Iranian parliament and spokesperson of the National Security and Foreign Policy Commission, in response to this aggression against Lebanon, the passage of ships in the Strait of Hormuz must be halted right now. And with a heavy and decisive strike, we must prevent the rabid and cancerous tumor of the region from their sabotage. Sorry. We also have Iran demanding $1 per barrel on oil transiting through the Strait of Hormuz, payment to be made in cryptocurrency, according to the Financial Times. And so Iran is demanding $1 a barrel. Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish, Britt.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But John had the best news coverage. Yeah, it's the Kanye move.
No, I mean, when did you cut me off? I didn't think you cut me off.
Oh, no, I was just messing with you. I was just telling you if I do. I've cut you off a couple times, I think. But most of the time it's for breaking news.
Dude, I don't care. It's your stream.
Yeah. Well, you should care, dude.
I mean, I'm not going to get my feelings hurt. If I have something important to say, I'll say it at some point.
Yeah. Well, no. So Iran is now charging $1 per barrel. But yeah, I don't know. Again, Iran's going to require ships passing through to pay tolls in Bitcoin. $1 per barrel is what they're saying. So basically, $1 per barrel. So the barrels right around, that's basically close to a 1% tax. It's not the biggest, but oil right now, around $92 a barrel for WTI crude, so it's a little bit over 1%. But
any idea roughly how many barrels a standard like tanker or shipping tanker holds?
It's a lot.
Well, yeah.
I am gonna Google this. So a typical oil tanker holds roughly 300,000 barrels for smaller coastal vessels to over 2 million barrels for large crude carriers, VLCCs.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot. And with that said, oil is pushing up a little bit, and the Nasdaq is falling down. Maybe on this news that we just covered about Iranian charging $1 per barrel to be paid in crypto, making scarcity issues higher, making oil fall, or making oil go up, and the Nasdaq fall back down here. So this news could be affecting markets.
That definitely explains well, at least in my opinion, explains the $2 million per ship price that they said.
Yeah, for the big ones, for the big tankers. All right, Nasdaq's starting to flush back down here, guys. Look at the Nasdaq drop. We're at 25,180s, 25,190s here. The Nasdaq is looking weak right now. Cool, let's see if it holds. But yeah, markets are breaking down as we speak here. We have this big range here. I think you have to look at this range right now. It's a larger range. But this range right here is most of the bull action over the last 3 or 4 hours. So I'm watching this range. It's definitely a large range. I'm going to look for range breaks at the open, but just be careful today, guys. Definitely a little volatile in terms of movement today for price action. So we have 7 minutes left until the opening bell. Obviously, markets are incredibly green here. But it's a news-driven market, so markets are turning up. They're going down. They're reacting to news. So yeah, Bitcoin obviously is saying, hey, pay in crypto, guys. Here's Bitcoin right here. So Bitcoin all the way up to 92.40s, almost 90 or 72.40s. I'm sorry. So there's a pop back higher here. Who has a weak Nasdaq prediction? I don't really know what the market's going to do, to be honest. I think it's possible we do correct back down. But as I said when I first started the stream, I think it's possible we correct back down and fill some of this upward movement based off of just maybe an overreaction to the ceasefire. I also think it's possible that the bulls get control and we go straight bull momentum at the opening bell. I don't think either side is set in stone yet, and time will tell what really happens here. But yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at now. Just depends on who gains control at the open. John, why do you think no one cares about the pipeline getting hit 45 minutes ago? I think they cared. We saw a market response here. This is the market response to that right here. We just kind of got bought right back up. There's just a bunch of headlines coming out pretty consistently throughout the morning so far. So we're getting a lot of different headlines coming out.
But you also have to take into account they don't know the extent of the damage yet. I don't think so. Right.
But we know it was something. It wasn't It wasn't nothing. Yeah. Somebody said we'll be correcting until September. Yeah, traders are now trimming ECB bets. They price less than 50 basis points of hikes this year. Let's see. Look at the market popping back higher here. Maybe we got the point of the market on open data coming out, but this is why people watch this high volume area right here. This is all pretty high volume area on the volume profile. Look at the green. Let me see if there's any breaking news here. Still ripping up. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's got better than a snowball's chance of lasting. Based off of current sentiment, both sides seem to be, locked into it.
I agree. I'm sure there's going to be some wrinkles and some things to iron out, but I give it, like you said, a better chance than that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible we get another deal done within this 2-week period. I think that's what markets are pricing in with all this bullish action. But I also think there's still going to be risks to the price of oil in regards to scarcity and high oil prices and in turn high inflation for the extended future based off of the new dynamic of the Strait of Hormuz, right? I think the new dynamic of the Strait of Hormuz makes it so that It's probably not going to go back to how it was prior to this, in terms of the flow of free oil through it. And because of that, we're going to potentially see more premiums in the price of oil. And in that regard, more inflation. You know, I think that's something that we're probably going to see. It's going to be better than it's been the last month for sure, probably. But
again, I think regardless of that, somebody will fill the gap production-wise.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. So again, we are down to 225s. And the NASDAQ, the opening bell is in less than 3 minutes here, guys. Less than 3 minutes. Again, let me know if you're bullish or bearish today. Ooh, I don't know what we're going to get here, to be honest. Dude, my arm feels so much better today, dude. Good. All right, guys, here we go. Opening bell's coming soon. We did a poll. We asked people, are you bullish or bearish? So far, most people are bullish for today's open. I got to wait at least 5 minutes, especially at this opening bell. I think there's too much risk. I'm thinking about longing oil here. Yeah, look at these swings, though. Here, I'm looking at breaking news. And some stuff's coming out, but look at this drop. We're down to 25,200s here. So getting volatility showing up at the opening bell right now. So the opening bell is here. Oh, oops, let me get this out of the way. There we go. The opening bell is here. Let's see what we get.
Wonder if it's going to continue that downtrend or reverse.
Yeah, I mean, I would say we're mostly sideways in trend right now.
I just meant that one candle.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I piggyback off of like big moves like this and we jump into it, but I gotta draw some levels here. I'm looking at 25,200s, which is a level I've really been watching for a few days, or today. I mean, sorry, we haven't been up here in a few days. I'm watching 175 here. Just because it's an isolated low down there and it's the start of the lower volume area, the volume profile. I think we break under 175, we might get some more push, but 150 down here makes sense too. And then above us, 257s. All right, look at this red show up here. Let me see about news. But ahead of the opening bell, we're very red, very red. We have had a little bit more escalating comments prior to the opening bell, but look at this red show up here, guys. Market opens up in 3, 2, 1. There's the bell right now. Good luck, guys. NASDAQ just ripped up at the open. Look at this big move. Green showing up at the opening bell here. Let's see if the first move is the wrong move or whether we break this high and continue. But look at some of this movement right now. Wow.
Keep going.
Well, it just retraced completely here. In all honesty, so this thing just turned all the way back down, here. Look at that. So we did just turn all the way back down. Look at this drop. It doesn't mean anything yet. I mean, look, we're still in kind of a high volume area here. We did have Qatar Energy reportedly preparing for LNG production startup, like starting back up. I mean, it looks bearish here. Just because we retraced that whole green move already, but it's still too early for me to trade. Jim Cramer's tweeting. Maybe it's his fault.
Maybe it's my fault for saying something. Just period. Stupid Jinx powers.
It's definitely your fault, bro. Look, we're at 175. 175 here. Let's see if this bounces. Nope. Very bearish right now. Very bearish. We're getting close to these lows too. I would short this if I could trade it, but I think this is, we'll short this one here if we get a little bounce. Give me a bounce up to 175. We'll short that level now. All right, I'm shorting. Might be a risk. I'm shorting at the low, and it's a challenge account that we're already green on, so like we'll be all right no matter what here. But I'll break my rules only for a challenge account. There we go. Yes, sir. All right, we'll cover. Look at this red. We'll cover a little bit more. Oh, we're out. Okay, cool. Was the bear trap, or was the bull trap thesis right? You had a lot of people trying to make fun of that thesis this morning. Was it correct? We get up to 175, I'll short again. It's still pretty close to the opening, but we're 2 minutes into the day. But was the bear trap thesis correct here, guys? Or the bull trap thesis, I mean.
I'm going to hit you with an I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know is fair. That's pretty fair. I need a little bit higher of a bounce to short into, though. But so far, we did retrace a decent amount since the open. I'm already out. I made money on this move. I shorted this right here. We're green. Yeah, if we can get back up to 175, I might short it again, but there's too little room here for me. Might start a little bit earlier too. Let's see. I might miss it. Looks like here's the push. Yep. That's alright. Gotta wait for the right setups. Just crack lows again. We're down to 130s here. Big level psychologically, if we get this low, is 25,000 obviously down here. Here's 25k. This level right here. It's a ways away, but that's if bears really take control.
Yeah, dude, what is driving this?
This is just we're up a lot. We're up a lot from everything going on, and so a lot of the time, you know, they call it buy the rumor, sell the news. Dynamic where like we make one specific directional move, and then, you know, when the volume's the highest, those traders start taking profits, so to speak, short term, and that causes an influx of selling, and then the more we sell, the more we end up dropping. I'm gonna short right here, but we're gonna start small here and add to it only if we go into the green, which we are now in. We did reject there at 175, exactly like we wanted this to be. We'll add a little bit more to this now. Although I'm not really convinced, to be honest here. I think it might retrace back up, but small trade that we're in the green in now. We rejected exactly at that level, though. There we go. That's better. I'm going to start liquidating some of this. All right, I'm out. I love those psychological levels, bro. We talked about 175 the whole time. There's 175 right here. Breaking my rules? No, I mean, we're 4 minutes plus into the day. I can trade right now. I do see Fars News citing sources that Iran is preparing to carry out deterrent operations against Israeli military positions in the occupied territories after ceasefire violations. Sandusky's up 11%. Yeah, here's 175. We talked about it here. Here's 150. So we're kind of pegged between those levels. Yeah, we'll see if we V. All right, we're now under that 150 level. I'm gonna wait now and give it a little time here, to be honest. Try to push a little higher. A little higher. Again, there's 175, but we already rejected it a couple times and I took profit, so I don't like the retest of it. So we're back in that high volume range, so now I'm just gonna wait. Yeah, there is some craziness. I mean, I would be careful here, guys, to be honest. I did see Pakistan's Prime Minister Sharif say U.S. and Iranian teams are going to Pakistan on Friday. So we'll see if that holds. But
At least a good sign.
yeah, it is a good sign. Constructive talks between the two obviously are very good. All right, so now we're starting to break back down. It still obviously looks like we're in a downward trend, and we've got a long way to retrace back up there if we start to go the opposite way. I'm almost interested in shorting that 175 level again, though. There's a drop. Maybe I should have.
Show my face or I'm AI. Okay.
Yeah, so we're back up. Let me put my music back on. Look, we bounced off that 150 level again. There's the breakdown starting here.
So why'd you say you didn't like to retest?
So the first time we test the level here, I don't mind if we downward move, trade with the trend, continue, right? If we move back up there to retest this level here, I'm not saying it's not going to go back down again, but it's less. The odds go down a little bit for like another downward move, so to speak. And so what I mean by that is like a lot of the time on the retest, we will move back up, and then we can kind of start to reverse back higher here. So I don't like the retest. I'll take the first really obvious move to a specific level within a given time frame, right? If we have enough time in between them, I will potentially attack it again. But we need to have enough time. So that's basically what it is. It's just I don't like the retest stuff. It's just me personally. Other traders might have better results from it. So I see the IRGC saying a few minutes ago that they destroyed a drone over Fars. Warns any U.S. or Israeli airspace violation will be treated as a ceasefire breach and met with decisive response. Yeah, I think that's kind of what's going on here. Red action still showing up here, guys. Look at this red. Remember, 25,000's down here, so we're watching 25K, but look at this red show. Man. Again, markets are getting worried about a break of the ceasefire. And that would be wild. Ceasefire announced one day, the next day it breaks.
It wouldn't shock me, though, honestly, considering the parties involved.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the whole, the drone comment you just mentioned, I mean, anybody could be flying a drone in that region. It just kind of feels like maybe they're looking for an excuse.
Yeah.
Already.
No. Yeah, no, it's possible. I might buy this 110 level here, though. But it's a risky buy. But since it's a challenger account, you know what? We'll take it. Higher end of the volume profile.
Somebody says Tesla looks rough. What's Tesla doing?
All right, I'm taking some of this off now. We'll hold the last two contracts, but we've already made money on this, so. Yeah, this is like we got a little bit of a area here, but I don't trust it. I'm green on the trade so far, but I don't trust it down here. It's too weak, especially if it's catalyst driven weakness as well. That's better. I'll take another half off there, lock it up, cut the rest break even, which is right now. I'm out. Hey, thank you, Tangerine. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir. Yeah, now that we're breaking down, here's 100s. 100s could cause a bounce here as well, and look at the bounce there, so. But this is catalyst driven. Yeah, well, during a Jeremy, so market heat map could be there, but you know, we're getting market movement after the opening bell. So most things are still very green on the day. It's not like anything's like hyper red. But they are giving back some of the green that they made from earlier in pre-market, if that makes sense. So we are starting to give some of this back here. I'll buy 25,000 when we get down here, but that's still a long ways here. But definitely a red open.
So basically, it's not like the whole market's tanking or anything. It's just,
well, yeah. I mean, we're dropping, but it's not like things are crashing in red on the day. You know, they're just giving back some of the gains they made. Is what this is. And again, IRGC warns any foreign aircraft entry breaches ceasefire. That's the news scaring markets right now.
just when it felt like everything was going better.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out Apex. Apex, their 90% off sale still going on. Again, they do have some of the cheapest accounts in the game here. If you look at Apex, look, let me show you guys. Apex recently switched their rules up to where they have no end-of-day drawdowns, no payout denials, no MAE rule, no 5-1 risk-reward rule, built-in scaling, and 50% consistency once you're funded here. So look at this NASDAQ breakdown here, though, guys. We'll come back to this Apex plug later. But look at the NASDAQ break here. I'm looking maybe 25.50 or 25. But, man, I think once we get closer to 25, markets are going to be scared and pricing in this. But, yeah, if you want to check out Apex, the base account on Apex is $19.90 if you use my coupon code BGT. Chat right now. What does BGT stands for? It's not beginner trading. What do you guys think it is? You know? What is your abbreviation for BGT? Let me know. But if you want to check out Apex, great way to learn. Most day traders lose money. So learning in a structured environment with smaller amounts of risk just makes sense. Here's the link. Check it out. PCE is tomorrow. CPI is Friday. Femi, what's up, brother? Yeah, so CPI is tomorrow. Or PCE is tomorrow. GDP date is also tomorrow as well. Here's the Apex link. Check it out. I will pin it to the top of the chat if you haven't already. Fed Minutes comes out later on at 1.
I don't know why I'm terrible at riffing on the BGT thing. I can't come up with anything.
Bro got trucked. Who's Gary? Brick gonna trade? All right, so here's a little bit of a rebound here. We did bounce right around 100. We broke underneath it for a little while, but the question is, if we get up to 150, do I short a continuation pattern here? BGT, guys. BGT coupon code. Use it at checkout. You'll get the max discount. You can use it on Lucid, Tradeify, Take Profit. And again, if you're new, I recommend Take Profit. Again, here's the Take Profit link if you haven't already seen it. It's in the chat right now. You get 40, no activation fees. Once you're in profits, you can take daily payouts on Take Profit as well. So, all right. So the Iran foreign minister discussed ceasefire breaches in Iran and Lebanon in a phone call with the Pakistan army commander, according to a foreign ministry statement. Markets are still nervous about ceasefire breaches here, chat. This is what this is, unfortunately.
I mean, it's too early after the announcement for everything to, for anything to really stabilize, in my opinion. I mean, you'll get some movement, obviously, but
yeah,
I think it's too early. Like I said, I think it's too early for things to completely stabilize.
No, 100%. And I think markets are still scared. This is a scared market right now. That's what this is.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
understandably.
Yeah. Saudi claims to have destroyed 9 drones in recent hours. Just the word ceasefire breach, just the fact that that is out here is scaring things.
Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if there was another party interfering, but maybe not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, the Bears are here, though, guys. You know what? It's kind of funny. Like, I had a lot of people try to make fun of me for even saying that we could fill the gap. Like, the Bulls were so manic this morning. No offense to you. It's all good if you're bullish. But, like, the Bulls were so manic this morning that they got mad at me for even saying we could retrace a little bit. And you got to understand, like, markets can do anything. Nobody freaking knows. Nobody knows. And in fact, a lot of people get this wrong where like, look, if we're up big, I think the more probable outcome is that we correct a little bit versus just continuing higher here into the momentum. And vice versa. If we're down big, just like the trade yesterday at 24,000, when I asked the chat, I was like, hey, should I buy this level? Same thing, you know. Everybody was so bearish, they were so nervous, they were like, no, don't do it, and then we ended up ripping up. And so I think you got to understand, extension is real, exhaustion is real in markets. All right, here's 150. I thought about shorting it, but this is really bullish news. This has got to be some type of bullish move here. Let's see if there's a catalyst. Yeah, markets are saying not even a day, and we're back at it again here. Yeah, I jinxed the market. Bored gangster trader, you know, Steve. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to short this. I'm looking at 175 again, though. But Pew, you know, I said that this, if you want me to be exact, what I said was that it's very possible we fill some of this gap on the downside after pushing up so much, based off of a potential overreaction. I also said another outcome is that if at the opening bell the bulls get control, we could get momentum and start pushing up. So look at this drop right here, though, man. Wow. Okay, so this is the news that probably is negatively impacting things. An Iranian security military source to the Iranian Fars agency said, quote, following the continued violations of the temporary ceasefire by the Israeli army against Lebanon and Hezbollah, Iran is in the process of formulating a decision to carry out deterrent action against them. The assessment is strengthening that the continuation of the attacks, despite the agreement in all arenas, indicate that either the U.S. is failing to control or that a green light has been given for freedom of action to the regime. That is the news moving markets right now, I think, right?
Great.
Yeah, that's what's going on right here. We are pretty green, though. Still. I might short this again, though. Look, we're going to try shorting it. Although I do think it's possible we get some denying catalyst coming out that says, hey, you know, the ceasefire's still intact. Like, this is just delayed responses, so forth and so on. And so I do think that's very possible here. But because this is just an eval account that we're playing with until we get some good edge, and we're in the process of taking a payout on our Lucid account, we will take some positions here. Yes, sir. All right. We're going to cover some more. All the last three, at least break even. Take another piece off.
Yeah, I thought there might be issues with proxies.
Yeah, we're just going to hold the rest of this break even, I think. You know, we'll hold one break even. Maybe add to it if it goes deeper in the green. Tesla at 350s. All right, guys, there we go. I'm gonna cover it right there. Look at this red showing up here, guys. Wow.
So
Yeah,
fun fact,
oil.
John, did you know the... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say oil is not reacting to this like a lot of other stuff is though.
Or why?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. I think Nvidia's starting to give some back. Alphabet, Tesla, heavily weighted stocks are starting to fall. Oil's kind of been falling with it though, you know. So like, it's not the normal dynamic we've seen here. Yeah, I mean, I've been trading. Yeah, I'm trying to wait. I don't want to take too much risk. We do have the Fed minutes report today as well, guys. So Fed minutes report goes live today, 2 p.m. Just cancel my orders. Ugh. Right here, are you bullish or bearish? NASDAQ is looking weak, though. I don't know if I want to buy 25,000, but we're getting closer to it for sure. Bull or bear in chat right now. Let me know. Bull or bear, guys. What do you guys think? Right here on the NASDAQ. Bull or bearish on the NASDAQ right here.
So where do you want to buy, if not at 25?
I'll think about buying it. Yeah, again, I'll think about buying it. At that point, we pushed out a lot. So yeah. we go all the way down there. That's pushing down a lot. So bear, I see mostly bears. Bear, bear, bull, bull, bear, 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 bull, bear. So I see mostly bulls, or mostly bears, I mean. Bull, bear. All right, NASDAQ's testing lows again. I'll have to zoom out to see where the... Oh, no, I lost it. There we go. NASDAQ starting to test lows again.
So did you know the same guy that wrote Count of Monte Cristo also wrote The Three Musketeers?
I did not know that. No, I didn't. I love the Count of Monte Cristo, though.
Oh, I did too. Alexander Dumas. But I also love Three Musketeers. Like, even some of the sillier versions I enjoy, like the one with Oliver Platt and Charlie Sheen. And that was a good one.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, sorry, Jeremy. If it times you out, I don't even see anything. Hold on. Who got timed out? Somebody did? I don't even see anybody that get timed out. Oil is in a coma now. Yeah, NASDAQ still breaking down. Oil is starting to rebound back higher here. So we are seeing oil go back up, NASDAQ fall down. 25,000 is pretty close. It's right here. So we're getting closer to 25K. But markets are still pricing in maybe the ceasefire doesn't hold. There's rumors of strikes and there's talks of strikes. There's talks of ceasefire breaks. You get NASDAQ at 25.84s. 25.87s. But we are around lows of the day here. Now we're kind of trending sideways.
Oh, cool. Someone says one of their friends is the great-great-grandson of Alexander Dumas.
Oh, that's neat. Cool. Yeah.
Also, is it Dumas or Dumas? I mean, I took French, but honestly, for that name, I've never been sure whether to pronounce the S or not.
Yeah. You never know. All right, so here's this big line right here at 25/100s. That seems to be holding us down for now in the NASDAQ. So it's Dumas.
Okay, I thought that might be the case. I wasn't sure. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah.
I remember that commercial. that commercial was so funny.
Hold on.
We can hear your phone call.
Oh yeah, Britt. By the way, you can hear him, but the chat couldn't. I muted the mic.
Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to run in a second. I gotta bring Carol something, but yeah. Nasdaq's starting to test that low again here. We'll see if it holds, but Nasdaq is starting to test those lows. Let's see if this breakdown continues here.
What makes Brit tick? Just basic biology, like everybody else, I guess.
We're down to almost 75s. Yeah, here's 75s right here. There's the crack. We just cracked under lows of the day again here, guys. 25,000 is getting very close to us. Very close. Chat's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to put oil back up. Look, so let me find... Actually, here's Rigetti, but I'm going to put the Nasdaq
I heard
up.
every word, something about a ring and a dark lord and the end of the world.
I know, that's the one I was laughing about.
I'm very Lord of the Rings of you.
Right. Look, yeah, we are right at the volume-weighted average price. Here's the VWAP.
So far, this has been a very volatile ceasefire.
It really has, and there's talks of like everything getting reversed here, and that's what's scaring people. I do think there's a chance that, again, I think there's a chance that somebody comes out dispelling the ceasefire rumors, so to speak, and then that causes a big bull surge. I think that's possible based off of what we've seen somewhat during this conflict already. So I think it's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think it's possible. We are right at the volume weighted average price now, though. So
yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah,
and it's too volatile. I mean, you know, it's fun to talk about, but it's too volatile to make any real predictions about what's going to happen.
Yeah, nobody freaking knows at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
You know. All right, so we are starting to flush back down here. Looks like the market wants to go down. There we go. I did get into a short here. I'll show you guys this. I'm going to have to run in a second, though, here, guys, but I did get in a short. Take half of that off, too. We'll give the rest a little bit more time. Here we go. Short worked. I think we're going to test 25,000 is why I shorted here. But I'm going to we're going to leave one contract up. And we're starting to test these lows again.
Let's see. All
right, Brent, hold it down for a second. I got to run. Yeah, I gotta run. I'll be right back, Britt.
All right, man. Hope everything's all right.
Yeah, everything's fine. So the president just told PBS that Hezbollah and Lebanon will get taken care of too, end quote, U.S. president. I'll be right back.
All right. Updates in the news. I don't have the same access to the news sources that he has yet. I have to make a couple of accounts, but I don't know. Honestly, I just wanted to keep talking about like Three Musketeers and what was the other one? Like, what was y'all's favorite iteration? Like movie wise, book wise, do you like those things? I read the books, Count of Monte Cristo and Three Musketeers. I like the books better personally.
All right, I'm back. Hold on. Actually, I'm about to have to leave again. So.
What? My favorite Musketeer? Either D'Artagnan or Porthos, probably. And yes, I agree. The Count of Monte Cristo movie was great. I really like Jim Caviezel in that. And Guy Pearce. I mean, like, he was a great bad guy, in my opinion. I also liked the movie, I don't know if you guys remember, just The Musketeer, that focused on D'Artagnan when he was young. Goofy was your favorite. I did like The Man in the Iron Mask. I felt like DiCaprio delivered really well in that dual role. But honestly, I think probably just because of a sense of nostalgia, I know it's not the best version, realistically, but I really like the Three Musketeers movie with Oliver Platt and Charlie Sheen. And I don't know why I'm blanking on the other dude's name. Kiefer Sutherland. There we go.
Also known as earrings. All right, we're heading back down here. We're at 2580s.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah. Back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so green on this trade. We're very green on the day in this, but I don't know if we're gonna end up breaking down a.
He says, I don't know the same way John does. Well, I mean, we have known each other for a long time. I don't know if I started saying it first or if he did, but, you pick up on each other's verbal tics and things like that when you know somebody for a long time. Favorite Tarantino movie is probably Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of his, but I really enjoyed that movie.
I like Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction's good.
Pulp Fiction is fun, but only parts of it. For me.
Yeah. If you count True Romance, I thought True Romance was really good,
Was that Tarantino?
Didn't he write it? He just didn't direct it, I think. Right? Am I wrong?
I don't know. I think chat should tell us.
Chat, tell us. Yeah, I'm not even going to look it up. I'm just going to rely on you guys' superior wisdom. Django
was pretty good. I really like Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz just has a lot of, he has great screen presence, a lot of charisma. I enjoy him in pretty much anything.
Yeah, it was really good. All right, market's starting to rebound back up here, but we're too close to lows for me to be too optimistic on longs. And I am short this, and that's turning out pretty well, but we're not really going anywhere, to be honest. We're really slowing down a lot in terms of direction. There we go. We're starting to drop more. Okay, here we go. We're gonna add to this now. Ooh, bad time.
Me, I still had a blast watching The Green Mask with Jim Carrey. I don't think that's related to like The Man in the Iron Mask or whatever, but I enjoyed it too. It was a great childhood movie.
The Mask is great.
Yeah, dude. The Mask 2, not so much.
I never saw The Mask 2. I knew it wasn't gonna be good. I didn't even try to watch it.
Yeah, don't bother.
All right, I'm gonna start cutting some of this position. We're just gonna get out. We made a decent amount of money here, but the market is slow. The VIX is still over 20 though.
I never read the Magician's book series. I had a friend who did, and he said they were really good. I enjoyed the show up until the last season, I think, but I wouldn't mind reading the book series. I've heard they're good.
Do I want to short this and just take a big risk now is what I'm questioning. We're going under the VWAP here. I'm trying to check breaking news.
Not finding anything.
We just had the Pakistani Prime Minister announce that delegations from the U.S. and Iran will arrive in Pakistan on Friday, the same day as CPI inflation data. Again, what I'm worried about right now is that somebody's going to come out dispelling the earlier talks of breach of ceasefire or whatever, and then markets are going to head up in a big way. That's what I'm worried about, to be honest, but all right, so we were in a trade during this drop here. Somehow we found ourselves in a long position, but we made about $1,000 on the day. So we were in a trade really luckily just now, but something just happened here. Look at this market move. Something just happened, I think. Look at this. Not 100% sure, but look at that candle wick right here.
Max says oil's finally going up.
Yeah, I think oil's... yeah. I don't mind shorting into this maybe, but... we went from being down 500 to this in this account to being up 1,000. Why is the music stopping like that? That's weird. You can trade with some risk now, but I'm not going to take too much. It's a challenge account, by the way, so we can play with this a little bit more. I'm not going to add to this anymore. I'm going to have to cut some of this. Give the rest a little bit more time now. No, we're going to wait.
The last season of Magicians broke your heart. Honestly, Quentin's fate kind of sealed it for me. I got really choked up with that one, just being completely honest. But I kind of lost interest after what happened with him, just personally. He was my favorite character.
So we just got some news that Pawn just dropped. Several vessels in the Gulf receiving messages claiming to be from the Iranian Navy saying Hormuz is still closed, according to shipping sources.
What the heck?
Yeah. Ship owners need to receive permission from Iran to transit or they will be targeted and destroyed, according to shipping sources. Now, this has actually helped me out a lot. But I expect us to react negatively to this news. And so we jumped back in another short here. What's the profit
What if
target
it's true?
on
If it's somebody just pretending to be them? I mean, for...
yeah.
lack of a more intelligent way to put that.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think there's a lot of different leaders and decision makers there, so it's really hard to figure out.
Yeah.
All right, so we've made 1,400 on this account. I need a little bit more though. So I'm going to add into this, assuming this bad news is going to negatively impact markets, and we have such a big cushion on the day that I probably should be trading smaller though, considering how much I was up. But I'll give it a second.
Regardless, it sounds like there are two factions in Iran. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but if so, it's going to make negotiations very difficult.
Yeah. All right, so we went back to small size again here. I'm not going to take too much. Now, I am going to take up to maybe 10. I do want to see if this news continues to push markets down. There we go. Again, several vessels in the Gulf received messages claiming to be from the Iran Navy saying Hormuz Strait is still closed, according to RTRS citing shipping sources. That's the news impacting things right now. Here we go. Take a little more off down here. Is that my computer making that noise?
What's the noise?
It's like a buzzing noise. Like,
Oh. Are you sure the airflow is unrestricted for the cooling fan?
Hold on, I can't hear it. I gotta exit out of some stuff here just to be safe. It also could have been the garbage trucks honking at somebody to move their car.
And it sounded like it was coming from your computer.
It could have been. I don't know. I got these headphones and they block sound. I don't know what the heck he's coming from. It really could be either one.
Yeah, honestly, you might just need to like clean out your fan, like spray it out with some air duster. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, reports claiming that Iranian Navy is sending messages to ships that explicit permission is needed to transit straight. I've been shorting because of this catalyst. I'm going to lock a little bit more in here. And then maybe add back if we get a deeper move red. But the market is so flat right now, it's not doing anything.
Yeah. Also, am I the only one that thinks they should make a soft taco version of the Dorito taco? That's just, I know that's completely out of nowhere, you know, left field, but I'm really hungry and it's starting to weigh on me.
Fight for it, Britt. If that's your fight, I'll support it.
We need it because Dorito tacos are just no good by the time you get them home. And I don't want to eat in the Taco Bell.
See, I don't eat Taco Bell at all. Although I do crave it sometimes, but I just don't eat it at all. You know.
It shouldn't, but it's just so delicious.
Yeah, Pawn says no thanks on the soggy Doritos.
That's what I'm saying. They need to make a soft taco version of it.
Alright. We are green here. But the market is so flat. Market's just waiting on news today. Remember, we do have the FOMC minutes report. It is going to be going live.
Stuff says they're hearing 2 Johns. Sure, he and I just don't sound enough alike that that you're mistaking one for the other.
Yeah, and I feel like more people in chat would be telling me if it was really true. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're about to get a flood of people telling you it's really true.
Yeah, we're not moving at all, guys. I'm going to close it down, I think. We just don't have any favorable price action right now. It's just boring. This is boring.
John says, bro, you should send that idea to President Trump and tell him they can name it the Trump taco.
Yeah.
He'd probably make it happen.
I should, dude. I should. I believe that. I believe that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're starting to push out. I'm just going to cut this. We're already so green in this account. But yeah, guys, listen, you want to check out Lucid, great way to help support the channel. We do have the FOMC minutes report today. So we do have Fed minutes report live today, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You joining us for the FOMC minutes report, Britt? That'd be good for you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 1 p.m. our time.
Okay.
It's time. We will schedule that now. Should I have stayed in my short position here? We'll see. But yeah, I'll be cutting out of here. Again, if you want to help support the channel, use coupon code BGT at all major prop firms. Lucid, Take Profit. Lucid, Take Profit, Tradeify, and Apex. You can use it at all the great ones. At all the great ones.
I missed the $5 box, too, because now it's like a $9 box.
Yeah. Market's just slow, man. Okay, Wall Street Journal is reporting that Israel was informed late on U.S.-Iran ceasefire, was not happy with the terms.
But they weren't.
Yeah, I mean, interesting. We'll see what happens here. But again, if you want to check out Lucid, great way to help support the channel. There's no PDT in futures. Lucid has great options, and I actually am about to take a payout. Look at this drop right now. I don't know if this is on the news I just covered here, but look at this drop showing up. So interesting. But yeah, you want to check out Lucid. Link is in the description. You can also see it pinned to the top of the chat, I think. Right? Let me make sure. Oh, no, that's Apex. Does the market hold? I should have held that short, but we had a pretty good day everywhere, so I think we're all right. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all be safe. Be good. We'll see you guys in a couple hours for the FOMC minutes report. Again, as soon as I'm going to go ahead and redirect to that stream. So as soon as we close the stream, it should bring you to the new stream. So I'll see you guys over there. NASDAQ, actually, as I speak here, is getting ready to test this potential low. And we might bounce. So y'all just be careful. Guys, be careful. Again, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day.